because Pokemon noticed Pokemon noticed the main bit, which is I'm in a different room. The whole thing is I got my own PC. Hi, thanks. Also, you're a bit quiet. Oh no! Is that better? Mikey! Mikey's here, chat. Mikey's here. Mikey's here. Perfect volume, great. It's because headphones. It's adjusted based on the webcam. Mikey, what brings you here? It's Mikey, chat. Need to stream ping. I was playing Genshin and cool. Oh, I haven't been in stream for a while. Even now, I can't stay sadly. I've got my sound off, by the way, so I don't know. I will see you, Mikey. Goodbye, Mikey. Have a great day. So, I apologise if that was loud. Let's go. So, you just sit on a surface that isn't meant to be sat. Okay. Phone delay. Oh no! But yeah, so, let me just bring you over here. Oh no, you're stuck. What are you stuck on? Oh well. So, it's my own PC chat. Look at that. Where is it? Oh no, the reflection. What are you stuck on? Hang on. Let me just sort you out real quick, chat. You need to sort yourselves out, chat. Ugh. There we go. Sandersize quote? Oh no. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the PC. Look at it. It's rainbow, but I can change the colours, chat. Where's rainbow gone? Oh, I've just gone past it, now I have to go all the way around. It's after purple, isn't it? There you go, and then there's you, chat. It's you. Thumbs up. Okay, now I need to get you back on my monitor. Sort yourselves out, chat. Ugh. I think you need to go more... Where were you? There, I think. That's good. Why does that look better than it did earlier? So was that surprise? It was. It was. Okay. So you know what we're doing, chat. We're doing more of the Nuzlocke that we started last week because we didn't get much done last week because I had to go to set this all up. That's what I was doing. That's why I couldn't stream again, because I was setting everything up on the PC for ages. Unfortunately, Pokemon, you're not going to be very happy about this. I didn't transfer my Xenoverse data over. So we've lost that. So I'm not really feeling like playing through the whole game again. Not now. But we might come back to it in the future. Mike already knows this. This is why Mike isn't freaking out at all about it, because I've told Mike. So yeah, I did finish the main game. That's what I was saying. So like the post game, I wasn't really. It was really difficult. So I'm thinking what we do is we move on, play a couple more ROMs. I was thinking that we play Pokemon Fusion next, just because I'm seeing that everywhere and I want to try and play it without seeing many spoilers. I've only seen a few fusions. I haven't seen a lot. So yeah, and Chris, yeah, good luck with your exams. I only just saw that. Infinite Fusions, maybe just Fusions first. Fusion, because I know we go Fusion, Infinite, and then Infinite Fusions, isn't it? Are those 3 separate games? Let me check, because you sent them all in suggestions at some point, didn't you? Yeah, Infinity Fusion and Infinity Fusion. You saw Fire Red one. I did as well, but I forgot the name as well. Frogs! But yeah, I will see you, Mike. But yeah, so we're going to move on. Probably go for Fusion, then Infinity, and then maybe Infinity Fusion. Maybe. But I do have a couple more apart from that lined up. Which, let me just find them. Oh, I never finished that. I was doing something off stream. Something separate. Radical Red, that's it. I think that's the one that I saw. I just couldn't remember for some reason. There, I had Pokemon Unbound, which you also suggested. Then Emerald Rogue, which I've seen some stuff on. I think that would be quite fun to maybe do a Nuzlocke on. Will be difficult though. So I'm thinking what we do after we finish this. After we finish this Nuzlocke, I will add Radical Red on there though. Radical Red. So what I'm thinking is after we finish this Nuzlocke, then we move on to more ROMs. Okay? Infinity Fusion. So I've got it lined up as Fusion Unbound, Infinity, Emerald Rogue, Infinity Fusion, Radical Red. Kaiser Emerald. That is another one that we can add on. There we go. We've got a solid list of 7 more after this Nuzlocke. Are we all happy with that? We finish this Nuzlocke and then we move on to the ROMs. I have started using Opera GX as well, so if you can hear any music in the background, that's what that is. Sure, yeah, we're all happy with that? And then Chris, I did say that as soon as me and Mike decide what we're doing with the Nuzlocke, with our Soul Link, or when we finish it, then we'll move on to yours. I think yours is next. I think yours is next. Yeah, yours is next, isn't it? Where are you? Yeah, yours is. You've drawn the Opera GX score. I have. Yeah, yours is after the Soul Link with Mike. So yeah, those was Pokemon Flux. Added more on. Great. Always love to have a load in the future. Flux. So yeah, so what we're going to be doing is I'm going to talk to Mike at some point, decide what we're doing with our Soul Link, because at the moment it is just sort of Mike tells me when it's free, so then we slot it in that week. So it was playing, either you're playing Pikachu for Soul Link. Yes, I only have Let's Go Pikachu, unfortunately. But yeah, so that is probably what's going to happen. I'm going to talk to Mike, I'm going to decide what's happening, like if we're going to finish it or if we're just going to leave it. Maybe even keep it as just like a slot in whenever Mike's ready. I'll just talk to Mike, see what he's happy with, and then as soon as everything's sorted, we'll move on to the next Pokemon challenges, because we have another Soul Link with Chris, that one, and then I've got another challenge that I haven't seen before. Actually, I haven't seen anybody do it before. It is a Rare Lock, which is where you get the rarest Pokemon in each route or area, and that's going to be in Brilliant Diamond. And I've got an X and Y randomizer, which I have done before by myself, but I didn't get further because I decided this would be quite fun to do on stream. And then I've got a red randomizer Nuzlocke. Huh. I don't remember putting that on there. I might have meant Radical Red randomizer Nuzlocke if you can do that. I don't know. We'll sort that out when we come to it. This is a Pokemon stream. This is a Pokemon stream. Well done, Pokemon. Chris, you know the rules. If you want a VC, use the redeem. I'm just gonna move my microphone out of the way. Trivia near the end. We could. Also, I might be able to start streaming for a bit longer each stream now, because of obviously I'm downstairs. It's my room. So I don't have to like take everything down, bring it back to my room. So I'll be able to stream for maybe half an hour longer each stream now. So longer streams. Also, I forgot to upload the VOD I forgot to upload the VOD last week for the week before, so I'm going to do that tomorrow. Last week's VOD's going up on Monday. Today's is going up next Sunday. Hopefully, if all goes well. But yeah. I forgot that we named them. I don't usually do that. It's redeemed now, so pick up. I will, sorry. I apologise.
Absolute dick.
Why are you muted?
Also, you're muted.
Input device.
You're
Hello?
muted, mate.
Is that what? It won't let me unmute. Help. Chat. It won't let me unmute. Ah!
You're muted.
Why is it not letting me unmute? Oh. Help. Chat, help. No. Help. Help. It won't let me unmute.
Nope.
Chat. So I'm just gonna try something.
I'll try calling you on my iPad. Maybe that'll work. Yep, still nothing.
Yes. Okay. Is it working? Oh, please work. Oh my god. Help? Is it working? Why is it... Help? Is it working? Why is it not working? By the way, the Pokemon...
Hello?
Okay. Oh my god. Hello. Hi. Is it working? Why is it not picking it up?
What have you done? Okay.
Ah.
Hello? Talk.
Hello? No?
Discord, what are you doing? Talk. I've moved on to my phone again.
Yeah, no.
Maybe try unplugging your headphones. I don't know.
I'm not...
That's my only solution.
Close and reopen. I could try that. Is it working?
Hello?
Is it gonna work? It's not gonna work. Oh my god. Oh, oh.
Hello?
Oh, 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 oh. Hello? Hello? Ah!
Oh,
Yes!
finally,
Yes!
finally,
Yes!
finally,
Oh.
finally. Your voice actually scared me because I was so used to hearing the silence.
Oh, Discord just wouldn't pick up my microphone, so I had to like fully like go into my... I had to go into Opera settings and try and sort it out from there.
Did you have the microphone set to not your headphones one?
It just wouldn't let me change it in Discord settings, so I just had to like completely sort it out.
Oh.
Okay, we're
I would
sorted now.
recommend just unplugging your headphones and like replugging them in that situation.
Almost 20 minutes
Is
into
what-
stream, and we're working. Everything's set up.
One time I tried like recording something on Streamlabs, but then it wouldn't pick up any of my audio, and I was so confused. And then I looked at my audio settings after hours of confusion and realized it was because both my game audio and my mic audio were connected to my headphones, and I didn't have my headphones plugged in, so they weren't picking up any audio because they were connected to the wrong thing.
Okay.
So that's why I automatically assumed it was something to do with the headset.
Let's game, finally. Oh my god.
How many minutes are we into the stream?
Almost 20.
Almost 20 minutes, and we haven't even opened the Pokemon game yet. I love it.
Oh, I'm not getting audio.
Exactly what a
yet.
Jensen stream should be.
Monitor and output.
This is exactly what a Jensen stream should be. Also, did you like the revamp of my Discord account?
I did. I noticed that. Because when you DM'd me
it's my
about
Twitter profile picture.
editing, I was so confused because like, who is that? It took me a few minutes to realise that it was you, because I had to go back through our DMs to realise it was you.
You could have just clicked my account, because
yeah,
they have a new thing where it's like, they're gonna remove the tag system in a bit, like from like my 9057 part. Like just remove it, and so it's gonna be kind of like Twitter, where it's like a display name and a username.
Yeah.
And so when you click on my account, you can see my username that's always been the same.
Oh well.
But when you look at my DMs, it's just the nickname.
Right.
And I've also
let's
removed
game.
my nickname. I've also removed my nickname on your server, so it's exactly the same as my display name now.
Oh.
Do you like my status?
I haven't. I don't
Discord?
know if I've looked at it actually.
It's completely out of context. For anyone
Oh.
who doesn't play Genshin Impact, they wouldn't know what that meant.
Okay.
I'm serving my brother even though it's only 10 o'clock now. It's 10. It's not even like midnight. Why is it 10? It's not even midnight. It's the weekend, my dude. Why wouldn't you? Did you want the context for the status?
That would be helpful.
So Ellie is so correct. They're actually inviting she's the god of the the general chat a while ago in Azuma, and she is being a bad person because she's being manipulated and stuff, and so we need to smack the sense into her. And my characters are extremely underleveled because I spread my resources too thin. And so they were having a really hard time killing her in the boss fight. And so I am struggling very hard. And so I put that as my status because it is the last thing I need to do in Inazuma before I can go to the next nation. And it is bugging me because, just let me murder you so that you can fix your nation, you stupid god. I don't care if your sister died. Work properly. No, her sister actually did not. Her sister did game over. Indeed.
Okay, so I've sorted it out, so I don't need my playback today because both of my iPads are about to die, and it's either I have playback or I have Nuzlocke, and I'd rather have Nuzlocke.
You have 2 iPads?
I do. I have one from school and one that I got like ages ago.
Yoink, my iPad now, bitch. You
I'm on the wrong
to school,
account.
my iPad
That's
now,
why I'm
bitch.
confused. I'm on the wrong account. I was wondering why I was at Valley Win Works when we didn't even have a single badge. That's the one.
Whose account were you on?
My personal one.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. I have a personal one, a stream one, and a personal challenge one.
Oh yeah, one of my cousins, I was showing him some of your clips on Twitch, and he said you looked hot.
Oh.
He's Yuri, by the way.
Oh.
So he's a year older than me.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I was completely flabbergasted by this.
I am as well.
Because I was showing him like all of your clips.
I don't know how to react to that.
And like, cause like I thought it was like really funny. And then like I showed him that he is not gonna lie clip, and then he was like, "I agree." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" So, I thought this was vital information for you.
It is, to be fair.
You're welcome.
204. Have we not got a? I'm just completely ignoring it at this point. Have we not got an account in it? Right, let's have a look then.
So where are we up? Where are we in the game? I don't know well.
We have just got through to Jubilife City. So I'm just grabbing the encounters from around the city.
I meant how many badges you
Oh,
have.
we have none.
Okay, thank you. My Sinnoh knowledge is dumb.
We'd only just got to the first main city, basically.
Thank you.
Which is where
my
the
only
trainer
Sinnoh
is.
knowledge is Legends Arceus. Sorry, Arceus.
Fair enough.
Also, I got a new character in Honkai Star Rail, and I thought this was important information for everyone to hear.
Can we actually get? Oh, we can get Buddy here.
You. I said you. I was conflicted between saying ooh and you. Like sorry, you. And I said you. So I meant to say ooh and yo, and I said you, which sounds like I'm saying ew. But I like Buddy's adorable. We stand Buddy here.
It's just gonna be a pain
Buddy.
to evolve.
Buddy is basically Sinnoh's small.
It may take some time, but I think you can recover my universe.
Nope.
You can go for it, but like I said, it's probably going to be we do a couple runs and then come back to it because I want to break from Xenoverse. To be fair, we've been playing it for like a solid year-ish.
Yeah, true.
What we calling Buddy, guys? What we calling Buddy?
Small Live 2.0.
Okay.
Don't you dare judge me. I can hear the judgment in your voice.
Small Live 2.
Don't think I didn't hear that. Don't think I didn't hear that.
What?
Don't think I didn't hear the judgment in your voice.
No, I just wasn't expecting that.
What? I told you. It's
Small
just a
Live 2.0.
Sinnoh Small Live.
It's just Small Live before Small Live.
Exactly. You can't say I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong. I
I
do feel like
say...
the Smoliv line was
I meant to say you can't say I'm wrong.
at least lightly based on Budu line.
Budu!
You gotta
I
love
mean,
Budu.
the similarity between Budu and Smoliv is uncanny. Oh, 1 second.
I don't know what to say about it, so like, I'm just not going to. Thundercock, okay, we do everything. Barry, I can't remember what we called our rival. Chris. We called rival Chris Copyright. Not
Oh yeah,
trademark.
you did. Oh yeah, you did. Sorry, my mom. I thought she wanted to, and she
We
didn't. So I
copyrighted
I'm like,
Chris's name.
yes, you did. Remember when I kept joking that I was gonna copyright strike the stream because copyright is my name.
Oh, I think that's what I did.
All the memories
So
are
I
coming
can't-
back to me now. Oh, it's coming back now.
How is game volume for stream, by the way?
Oh, hold on, let me unmute the stream so I can check. The volume is slightly low because we're on the call, but it sounds pretty good compared to your voice.
I'm getting a trumpet now so I can modify the volume of each specific thing because I didn't get it yet.
Do you have faith in me?
Huh?
Do you have faith in me?
I do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't.
So I'm about to murder all of my characters.
Oh, cool. Twitch is a built-in like alert box.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah. Go away. I really don't care about this.
How so?
I don't know.
How does it have a built-in alert?
I don't know. It was there today.
I ain't seeing anything.
Because you're not as good as me. Obviously.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
I'm joking.
Can I personally like to come up to my cousins and like sneak up to them? What?
Okay.
Okay. I open up the music app on my phone and I grab Never Gonna Give You Up. I pause it right as the music starts, like right as it gets like the part like you can hear it like Rick Astley. I turn my volume on my phone to max and then I sneak up right behind them and click play.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
What else would you do?
You know, we actually did the Just Dance Never Gonna Give You Up in my vlog once. It was like yesterday or the day before. That was funny. Really. As soon as we all saw him like put his mouse over Never Gonna Give You Up, we all collectively like started laughing our asses off.
Okay, so I've changed the volume. How is that? Or do you like the game sound to be a bit louder? Just 'cause
Chat, help him out. I can barely do it because volume gets lowered and goes. And I can't open it on my iPad. I'm playing some guys already.
Come on, help us out. Well, I'm just gonna leave it like that because I think it's okay.
Sorry. My apologies. I just found a really funny dialogue option in Honkai Star Rail. My apologies. I found a really funny dialogue option in Honkai Star Rail. It's like you were added to an anonymous group chat, and like they're messaging things really bad about like one of the main people that's like your ally. And then you go to another one of your main allies, and they're like, "You aren't just gonna sit around. You don't think you're getting sorry." They're like, "You aren't thinking you're getting solved, are you?" And one of the dialogue options is, "Nah, I'm just gonna sit by the sidelines and eat popcorn," or something like that. And I just picked that because it's fun. And I started laughing to this because of it.
I'm already struggling with the first gym part. Okay, this one.
Use the bit.
Everyone.
Move my brain.
Stop.
There it is.
God. Group level 7.
You have a drink. Jen, do you have a drink?
Me?
I do. Therefore, I'm better than you.
I just finished one. I have 2.
I have a Monster Energy can.
Ah.
What?
Just
It's already past 10:30. What do you expect?
Where is it?
What did you expect? It's already past 10:30.
Okay, so we get
Sorry,
3,
Pete,
maybe 4 more encounters before the gym.
Sorry, Pete. Here, thing.
So by the time we get to the gym, we'll have like 8, maybe 9 Pokemon to do. Oh, I need to add.
Have any of your Pokemon died yet?
No, I'm actually really surprised
Shit.
about
The 2 different responses to no Pokemon dying. I'm really surprised about this. Shit.
I don't know. I have a redeem for killing the Pokemon.
Oh yeah, you do. How much is that redeem worth again?
10,000.
10,000. I have 11,500.
Please don't.
My night.
Please don't. I will cry. I will cry if you do. I will cry if you do.
You find yourself in quite the predicament here.
I will.
You're right.
I will cry if you do it. It's a good battle card. Probably not raw because we have Turtwig.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna do it just yet. You
Now
can
that scares
recover
me.
quite easily from
The
that.
fact that you said yet, that scares me.
I have to time my things out.
Our only encounter here is Abra. Probably not the cat.
Also, the choose a Pokemon is still out of stock. I just checked on it to see if it's shipping.
For what is out there?
Choose a Pokemon to kill.
Oh. Revival Pokemon as well. Okay. Sorted it.
For revive of Pokemon is 8,000 and 85,000. 8,500? I can't match. 8,500 genuinely cheaper than kill one. Which implies that it's easier to revive something than to murder it.
I mean, it's just because I'd rather you revive than kill. Oh my god, we actually caught the Abra.
Well, why would I murder something this early on? You have barely any investment in anything.
What we
Your
calling
highest
the
level
Abra?
is
What
like
we calling
10.
the Abra? Oh, I need to have a body nature check.
We're calling the Abra E-Girl. With the hyphen and everything. You're actually doing it, oh my god. And it's a girl. Oh my god, I didn't even realize it was a girl.
I'm not happy about it, but I did it.
I didn't even realize the Abra was a girl. I just did e-girl because e-girls teleport away from you as soon as you try to get with them.
The only reason I will have it on the team is if it has a modest nature.
E-girl, you better have a fucking modest nature, I swear to God.
Otherwise, I'm replacing it as soon as I can. It's timid. I don't even know what that does. What does it do? It's ups. Oh no, because it's actually really good nature for it. Up speed minus attack.
That's actually really good because it doesn't affect its special attack and it positively impacts its speed. That's one of the best natures you could possibly have for
I'm not happy about
Abra.
it. Budu has one of the worst natures for it. Up special defense minus defense.
To quote Karen from Pokémon, strong Pokémon, weak Pokémon. That is only the possession of something bad trainer. I don't know the rest.
Yeah.
Of it, but basically, she says only bad trainers give up Pokemon because they're weak.
I mean, it's not because they're weak. It's just because I have better ones. I have better options. It's not because it's weak.
You want a better option soon. You know what I'm implying, don't you? Do you want to know why I haven't murdered anyone yet?
Because you don't want me to cry yet.
No.
I thought it was because
It's
you
because...
cared.
No, it's actually because of the fact that your Pokemon are still low level. Around 5 to 10-ish.
So like they
So
haven't
if
had any
one
training.
died... So if one of your Pokemon died, it would be quite fast to get the replacement Pokemon back to the same spot.
So
Whereas
you're
if
going
I
to wait
wait
until all my Pokemon
Yeah.
are like level 60 and all the Pokemon in my box are like level 5, so I have to train them up like loads.
Correct. That is my plan, yeah.
Great.
And
so
then I'm
happy
going
about
to
it.
res your weak Pokemon.
I'm so happy about it.
And then I'm going to res your weak Pokemon because I have enough Jellyfish for 1 kill and 1 res. Yeah,
happy
kill him
about
right
it.
before the Elite Four. Exactly, Pokemon. Exactly. I'm glad me and you have the same
Because
brain.
if you did that, I would quit streaming on the spot.
I'm glad me and Pokemon. I'm glad me and you are on the same wavelength. Pokemon, do you have at least 10,000 Jellyfish?
Neither
Oh, I
of
just
you
got
are
a
my
chest
friends
of
anymore.
Jellyfish. I just got a chest of Jellyfish.
Neither of you are my friends anymore.
Too bad, so sad. I still work for you though. 20,000. So you can kill 2 of them and I can kill 1 of them. We can kill half his team right before the Elite Four at the very least.
No, because then I wouldn't be friends with either of you. It
What?
wouldn't be
What?
okay.
What? You would fire me?
No.
I'm saving it for the special occasion. This is a special occasion right before the Elite Four.
Also,
What?
probably add that to the description, but I'm saying for the redeem, if you do it in the middle of like an Elite Four, so like if you do it like after I beat the first 2 of the Elite Four, it doesn't count.
Yeah. So basically, cause before the Elite Four it counts, but in the middle of it doesn't.
Yeah. So as soon as I start a battle, it doesn't count till the end of the battle.
And if you go to battle and you can't leave it until like a spot where you can until the champion,
Yeah.
so until the champion battle or somewhere else, you'll just move on this. I'm saving it for the special occasion, but then I could have 50k. Oh yeah, and then we could kill the entirety of his team. And since I have enough for 1 murder and 1 revive, I could just revive your weak Pokemon.
What if none of my weak Pokemon die? Then what are you going to do?
No, but you could have a weak Pokemon that you bring in as Death Father. We murder the rest of your team, and then we res the Death Father. Big brains. We're thinking outside the box. So can you tell me that I should not be having this monster? I
I'm
am
just
already
going to say
turning
you
it.
shouldn't
Why
be
did I
allowed in
already
public
open it?
places with the way that your brain works.
Wow,
You should not be allowed around people.
Wow, how are you gonna make my girlfriend do that?
Okay.
I bet you she'd agree, honestly. I would bet you, like, $10 Australian, which is all the money I have, that my girlfriend would honestly agree with you. Yeah.
I believe
Probably.
that.
Yeah, she knows I'm cuckoo
Anybody
crazy.
who
She's
knows
known
you
me
well
since
will
we were
agree with me.
kids. Yeah, she's known me since we were kids. She knows I'm cuckoo crazy. Why did I open this monster again? I have enough energy already. I've taken like 2 sips of it. Metagross IQ power, get the reference? I don't get the reference, sorry.
What level does Abra hold? 16.
Abra. It's around 16 or 20, I think. Also, I'm wearing a Mario shirt. I thought that was cool to mention.
I still haven't seen it yet. Chris,
Yeah?
have you seen the trailer for the Final Fantasy DLC?
No, but I saw the trailer for the Craft movie.
The trailer for the DLC is out. It's coming out in July.
July?
July.
That's 2 months away.
I know.
Where, that's for 5 months.
So me and Mike, we were sat there like last night, both like watching through it over and over again, trying to pick out any details and sending each other loads of photos.
Do you know how to go through video things by saying on laptops and computers?
Huh?
I didn't hear your response.
Oh,
So what you do is you pause the video,
uh-huh.
and then to go 1 frame ahead, you click the like full stop button, and to go 1 frame behind,
Really?
you click the comma button. Yeah, on laptops and computers.
I think
You can't do it with like iPad and phone and that.
I was
can do it
wondering
with, like,
how
a laptop
people
and
did
computer.
that.
Yeah, I looked it up like one time on projects. I'm like, I want to go through this video frame by frame. How do I do it? And then I read it, and I was like, oh my god! And now every time I'm watching something on my laptop, I feel like the need to go frame by frame at like parts that I missed
It'll
instead of
take you
just
about
rewinding it.
It'll take you about 5 times longer, but it's worth it to feel smart.
Yeah, and also
It is
because
worth it.
I hate rewinding and then missing it again to rewind it again. So it's
I
like
do
just
that a lot.
hold, and you can hold down the like back or forward frame button, and it won't just do one. It'll keep doing it until you get your finger off it, and it'll play the audio. I think. Basically true. Because like sometimes I'll hold down, pause the video, and I'll hold down the full stop button, and it just plays it like a slideshow.
Ooh.
It plays it like I'm watching it on
I've got to
McDonald's
try it
slideshow.
now. I've got to try it.
You can also do a similar thing by holding down the space bar. But you'll keep getting the flash pause unpause thing. I do it on my TV sometimes.
Meet
I'm just gonna wait for the app.
Okay.
Oh my god.
This is a Pokemon stream, as a reminder.
I feel so
Even though we spent the majority of the stream not talking about Pokemon, or even being in Pokemon at all, because off the stream.
I feel
currently
so
was
cool
spent.
doing this.
Yeah! You learned something new today. You're welcome.
That feels so cool. I feel powerful.
You're welcome.
It's great.
No problem.
Also, just saying.
Exactly.
It's my birthday.
I agree. Yo, really?
And I have to.
In 2 hours, it'll be your birthday today in Sydney. And stream will go for more than 2 hours. So in 2 hours, I'll be saying happy birthday to you. By the way, nearly 30k points now. Nice.
So it's my birthday for you because it's my birthday for me.
Yeah, that's how time zones work. For me, though, it's gonna be my birthday before anyone else. So like even for other people in Australia, I will be the first one to be able to celebrate my birthday. Because I'm not kidding, my time zone is the most ahead in Australia. And the one that's, because like, it's hard to explain Australian time zones. So imagine you split Australia into vertical thirds. So Northern Territory and South Australia is one time zone. Western Australia is another time zone. And then Queensland, New South Wales, Australian Capital Territory, Tasmania, and Victoria are all one time zone. But Queensland doesn't do daylight savings time. And so whenever it's daylight savings, the New South Wales, ACT, Tasmania, Victoria time zone is actually an hour, I think it's ahead of Queensland, because Queensland doesn't do daylight savings when the rest of us do. And the New South Wales, ACT, Victoria, Tasmania, Queensland time zone is the most ahead of the 3 Australian time zones for daylight savings. So for me, my time zone's always the first to celebrate my birthday. Yeah. Perks of being a Sydney resident, I guess. That's the capital of New South Wales, if no one understands Australian geography. You know, I pet a koala once. It was a mother koala. She was asleep, and I was like 9 or 10, and I got to pet her at a zoo, and they were taking photos, and it was so cute. Because like she had her baby with her, and they were both asleep on like a tiny little eucalyptus tree, and we got to pet them for photos, and it was so soft. It's so cute.
Because there is a giveaway for a, like, I can't remember the exact name, but it was like a frog pillow, and it's being, like, the winners are being announced tomorrow. It's my birthday, so I thought, I better get this, otherwise I will be really upset. Because I love frogs. Frogs are like my favourite animal.
So do I. One of my friends, when I was sad, clay sculpted a frog for me because she knows I love them. She was like, "Hey, I know you're sad, so here's a clay frog I sculpted for you." And I'm like, "Froggy!" And then when one of its legs snapped off when I got home, I started crying, and then my dad super glued it back on. Yeah. I can send the froggy in Discord if you guys want, like later.
Yes.
I will send the clay frog in Discord then.
Okay, let's have a look. What are our options in here?
I just realized I'm playing into the stereotype that non-binaries love frogs. Oh hey, it's almost 11. Oh yeah, also I fed a kangaroo one time. It was a baby kangaroo, a joey. I fed a joey, a baby kangaroo. Speaking of kangaroos, have you ever eaten one?
No, but I know that you can.
Yeah, it's actually really yummy.
Cool.
I've tried kangaroo steak before, it's really yummy. I prefer kangaroo steak over cow steak.
Oh. Cool.
Because in Australia, like, if you're Aboriginal, like, you have, like, a totem, which is, like, an animal that, like, your mob, your family, like, holds in high regard and doesn't eat. And for me, that's the sand goanna. So traditionally, following my own, like, tradition in that I can't eat a sand goanna. For some people, they can't eat emu. For others, they can't eat kangaroo. But, like, they can still technically eat them. It's just, like, a culture thing.
Yeah.
But, like, they're frowned upon for eating it.
Damn. What are we naming Geodude? We call a male Geodude. What are we calling it?
Call it Joey.
Okay.
Like a baby kangaroo, because we're talking about kangaroos.
Alright.
Ooh. Speaking of my totem, one time I was walking in a hiking area. I think it was at school camp. And we were looking in the trees for animals. And I saw Sangoena in the tree.
Cool.
Like on one of the higher up branches in the tree, I saw a bloody Sangoena in a tree.
I think.
And I was like, what the? I was like, whoa, what the hell? And then they're like, it's your totem looking up on you.
I think what we do is we replace God with Joey.
Yeah, we'll keep God as our HM mule / death fodder.
Well, we don't really.
And then
There
we'll
is no
put,
HMs in BDSP.
Oh yeah. We'll keep God as death fodder. That sounds so weird.
No, we've got to keep God alive. God is the only
Joey.
one that can survive. God is the only one that has to survive no matter what.
This conversation sounds so weird when you don't have the context of God is the name of our voodoo. Like imagine some of the lurkers who didn't watch last stream just hearing us like say this. They're like, did they hack in an Arceus?
Joey's quirky.
Did they hack in a Mewtwo? What the hell are they talking? Are they talking about actual God? No, we're talking about a Bidoof.
Joey's
we're
quirky.
Talking about a Bidoof here, people. We're talking about a Bidoof.
Joey's quirky.
Joey's quirky. Hey, he's me.
I love that though because it's a neutral nature. I love that for Joey.
Yeah. We love that for Joey. Joey's living his best life.
All over mine.
I don't remember what age I fed the Joey at the zoo, but I think it was like preschool or kindergarten.
Oh, cool.
Because they had like a vending machine, but it wasn't for like food or drinks. It was for animal food, and like you could put your cup in, and then like it would dispense at the animal food you wanted. And I got kangaroo food, and then went up to one of the Joeys, and I gave it some food, and it was really cute, and it was really really adorable.
That.
Do you want any more Australian animal stories?
Just if you're there for it, I'm not gonna say no.
One time in the middle of the night, a huntsman spider was right above me.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was just sitting on my bed because I couldn't sleep, and I had my light off. My brother's light was on. I had a faint light in the hallway, and I see the shadow of some like ovoid body coming up on like the roof part, and I was like, I'm gonna conquer myself with this day. I'm not gonna get scared. So I have an intense phobia of roaches. And then I saw the shadow of legs. Really, really big legs. And I was like, if I turn the light on and that's a spider, I swear to whatever God exists. And my light switch is across the room from my bed. So I had to hop off my bed, make sure my head didn't go anywhere near the ceiling, walk across my entire room to flick on the light switch, and lo and behold, it was a giant bloody huntsman spider. One of the biggest spiders ever. I didn't cry. Since I was standing in the middle of like my doorway, I reflex turned the light off and ran into my mom's room, which was right next to mine, and woke her up. I was like, Mom, there's a big spider in my room. Can you please help me deal with this? And I bet you she thought I was talking about a tiny spider and then I was overreacting. And then she turns the light on. She's half asleep. She's like, I can't see it. And then I point to the corner of my room where it's bloody hiding in the corner. I think about to start making a web. And I'm like, it's right there. And the mom's like, oh my god. Sprayed the hell out of it, like jumped off of a can of foam spray onto this huntsman spider.
I just couldn't die. I would be screaming and crying.
Yeah. For context of the size of a huntsman spider, including its leg span, like the length of its legs, if it looks like on your face, including its legs, for example, like my face, its legs would reach just past your head. Yeah, it's that big of a spider. Usually huntsman spiders don't like really bite you unless you like confuse them or scare them. In which case, run for your fucking life. A spider that you can be more cautious, like less cautious with, is a daddy long legs.
Yeah.
Like, they have really bad poison. Like, it would be lethal to humans, but they can't actually break human skin. They have such a weak bite that they just can't hurt us. And also, they're like really tiny. Like, their like body size is about the size of your like fingernail, and then like including their really long legs, it's about the size of your hand, like your palm. And I have tiny hands. The big part of my hands is my spindly long fingers. And a daddy long legs is around the size of my palm, including its legs, when it has long legs. But they're tiny. I used to actually call this one kid in my old class Daddy Long Legs because he had super long legs compared to his torso.
There was a kid
and he's in my class
who used to call that as well.
Yeah, because he was in one of my classes like year 4 or 5, and he was in my woodwork class last term, and he's in my like regular class this term because he was moved into a different class, and he has like really long legs compared to his torso, and he used to always like have like. Whenever he walked upstairs, he always used to skip a stair because his legs were too long compared to his torso. And so I would always call him Daddy Long Legs because I found it funny. I think he got annoyed at the nickname after a while, but
I get it, to be fair.
What more Australian animal stories do I have? I own a cockatoo.
I got told that I look like one of them.
Kind of, I guess. There's two kinds of cockatoos. There's a black cockatoo and a white cockatoo. Black cockatoos, I think that's my term. Black cockatoos have a dark black body and I think a yellow crest of feathers. I've never seen one in person, so I wouldn't know. But then a white cockatoo, which I've seen plenty of, have the white body and the yellow crest of feathers that usually get shown on like social media and that. And I own a white cockatoo. Like that's one of our pets. Technically my parents / my nan own it, but whatever. Yeah, because it was actually my auntie's, my mom's sister. But I think it was that it kept squawking in the middle of the night and waking her up, so she gave it to us. Its name was Cockaboy because we thought it was a boy. And then a couple months ago, I got the revelation that apparently Cockaboy's a girl. Because according to my cousin, I'm unaware if this is factual or not. They like saw an egg in there or something, which meant it laid an egg or something. I don't know. I just remember as a kid, my pop or my mom used to pick me up to get eye level with Cockaboy, and then I used to tell it Chelsea's a good girl, and then because we were trying to make it repeat what I said, because cockatoos can do that, because we were trying to make it learn to say that I was a good girl. This is coming from the person who, according to my brother, cussed out my brother when I was 2 years old. Definitely a good girl. Definitely. Yep. If we catch it, name it Chad. Like the one from Jaden Animations. Okay. Hey Pokemon, are you still in chat? My dad just overheard that entire conversation about cockatoos.
Oh, cool.
Because I just heard him like exit. I heard him like shut the door, and I'm like, oh, you heard that?
Let's see.
Context: it is 11:02 at night.
Yeah.
Yes, you're still in chat. Yay! I'll be very sad if you left, because then it would only be me and Jensen, and then chat would die,
Do
and that
we
would not be
want
very fun.
to replace? Do we want to put Chad in the team? We've got Turtwig.
Do we have a fighting
Starly.
type?
We don't, but I think that we have two grass types, so we could get rid of the smallest two.
Who was the other grass type? Turtwig?
Turtwig, Infinity the Turtwig.
Well, I mean, what's the name of the final evolution again? Torterra?
Torterra, yeah.
Torterra isn't really a very good typing. It's ground grass, I think, last time checked.
Yeah.
And ground grass is one of the worst typings compared to Budu, who is either pure grass or poison grass.
It's grass poison.
Grass poison. And grass poison is Venusaur's typing, and it's a pretty decent typing compared to grass ground, which
But
is a pretty bad typing.
Counter the weaknesses and stuff, Torterra is quite a bulky Pokemon.
Yes, but if we
And
can't
offensively, the grass ground type is good against quite a lot of types.
Yes, but if another Pokemon that we're facing against has a stab move for Torterra that we didn't play against, like say we didn't bring a Pokemon that can cover one of Torterra's weaknesses because we thought, oh, the gym leader's not gonna have it. This isn't their signature typing, and then they cover that.
I've got all of the stuff
It's
here
gonna
with
be
like
really
every
bad
move
news
that
for
all of
Infinity.
each Pokemon has in the gyms. Let's just go for type decks.
So I feel like for the main game, we should have Machop instead of Infinity. Sorry, Chad instead of Infinity. And
all
then
of
we can
Torterra's weaknesses are Flying, Bug, Fire, and Ice.
Yeah. I feel like if we replace Infinity with Chad, and then level up Infinity for like major boss fights that we know it doesn't have any major weaknesses for, with any coverage moves or stab moves, then we can bring Infinity in for those fights, but keep it off for the majority of the game to one secure its safety, and two, because its typing isn't the best overall and is only good in some sequences compared to the Budu line, which has a much better typing.
I do
overall.
think what we do is we keep Infinity in for the Rock battle, and then we'll
Yes,
get
Turtwig
rid of him
is decent for the Rock battle.
For the Mars
If you've
and
watched
Gardenia
Jaden
battles.
Animation's Nuzlocke, you would know Turtwig solos.
Because we've got Mars, who has a Zubat.
Rest in peace, Failure the Shinx.
And then we've got Torterra
Torterra
is very bulky, but
it is very bulky, but its typing is very bad.
it's really
Grass
slow.
ground
And if we
is
ever
not a
find
very
like
good typing.
later on with what's his face? Cyrus
What's his face?
with his Sneasel
Cyrus,
and
yeah.
Weavile, we're dead if
Yeah.
Torterra goes against that.
Yeah, Sneasel and Weavile are very good counters towards Torterra. And what's Infinity's nature again?
Infinity's nature is calm, which is up special defense minus attack.
Yeah, up special defense minus attack.
That does get rid of the fact that Torterra can usually do quite good physical damage because it doesn't have a great special attack stat.
And since Sneasel and Weavile carry both special attack and physical attack damaging moves, its up special defense doesn't really help against Sneasel and Weavile, which are one of the best counters towards it that Cyrus has. So I think that for the after Vork, swap it out for Chad and keep Small of 2.0 on, but then level it up if we need it for a certain major boss fight, but especially keep it out of the Cyrus battles.
Yeah, because for the final Cyrus battle, Torterra's dead to everything. Honchkrow has Air Cutter.
So we can't bring Torterra into the Distortion world.
Because
we
Honchkrow is
100%
Air
can't bring
Cutter,
it into
Gyarados Ice Fang, Crobat Air Cutter, and Weavile Aerial Ace.
Yeah. Because Torterra has a 4 times weakness to
Ice.
flying, right?
No, it's not flying.
Ice. Yeah, ice. Sorry, wrong one.
It is weak to flying,
And
though, which is
Sneasel and
quite a common
Weavile.
type.
Sneasel and Weavile are, both have stab for ice.
Yeah.
Ice is very much a glass cannon type, which means that while it can't block much, it is very good at dishing out damage,
And it is,
which is very
it's
bad
normally
for
quite
Torterra
fast as well.
because it's very weak to ice. So if we run into a Sneasel or Weavile before the Cyrus fight, and we still have Torterra in our party, Torterra is absolutely dead. There's no way countering that aside from leveling it up with Speedy Vs or giving it Quick Claw.
Which are 4 times super effective to Sneasel Weavile.
Yeah.
So it's training
comparing
out a 4 times weakness to a 4 times strength.
We're comparing it to Sneasel Weavile because that's in the Cyrus battle, and also it's a very strong ice type, which is why we're countering against it. And comparing Torterra to Chad currently, so Torterra to Machamp / Machoke currently, Torterra loses every single thing. Typing, absolutely terrible. It will be demolished. And if we don't level it up with Speedy Vs, like against a Ponyta, or give it, Quick Claw, it is very unlikely, or a Focus Sash, it's very unlikely to win any battles against a Sneasel or Weavile that is same level or higher against it.
Fighting type only has 3 weaknesses as well. Flying and Psychic, which are quite common, and then Fairy, which is really uncommon in Sinnoh.
Yeah. Machoke has a much better typing.
Yeah.
Machoke Machamp has a much better typing because it's just a single type.
And even though we can't fully evolve it, Machoke is...
Yeah, because you need Machamp to trade evolution. However,
Machoke is still quite strong.
Machoke is still really great. Yeah, fighting types are really strong, and because we already have Small of 2.0, which is already it's only 2 times weak to ice, right? Poison isn't weak to ice, right? Yeah, only 2 times weak to ice. So while Small of 2.0 is only 2 times weak to ice, having Machoke in there would still be a really good counter. Whereas if we had Small of 2.0, which is 2 times weak to ice, and Torterra, which is 4 times weak to ice, and we run into any ice type in the game, we are dead. That's almost half of our team weak to ice, with our starter being 4 times weak to ice. And one of Cyrus's best Pokemon is a Sneasel / Weavile, which is one of the best ice types in the game. So, if we don't have a fighting type or any other good type against ice, we're dead. And it'd be much better to remove the 4 times weak to ice Pokemon to swap it out for the Pokemon that's good against ice. Because not only would you save slots, you would also remove a 4 times weakness from your team. So I think it'd be best, for at least right now, after Rourke, to swap out Infinity for Chad. And yes, I know I'm helping you despite the fact that I want you to die. I don't want this to end too fast, okay? I want to have fun.
But the issue is, if we go for Roserade, we can't use Togekiss. Because there's only
Why is that again?
There's only 1 shiny stone available before the champion.
Oh yeah.
Which is in Iron Island, so it is going to be really difficult to get it. But then the only other way that we can get it is getting really lucky with Pickup, which I doubt we'll even get Pickup Mon.
If we do get a Pickup Mon, I'll say try and grind for a shiny stone. Yeah. And if you can't get it, or you don't get a Pickup Mon, I would say prioritize Togekiss, because Togekiss is a very good Pokemon against Cynthia, whereas Roserade, while it is a good Mon, against Cynthia, it lacks behind. Yeah. What's the Pokemon in between Budu and Roserade again? Roselia. I kept thinking of Rosario, but I was like, no, that's a Genshin Impact character.
Which Roselia was a standalone Pokemon, but it wasn't a great one.
Yeah. Roselia can still handle its own more early game.
Yeah.
And compared to Torterra, it's still pretty decent when it comes to typing. So I feel like for the moment, we should keep Badu and replace Torterra. And then when we get up to the Cynthia fight, we evolve Togepi into Togekiss from the egg we get.
Yeah.
And then we swap out Roselia for another mom.
As soon as we get the shiny stone, we'll get Togepi in.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we could...
What are the types in the Sinnoh League again? I know there's Bertha, which is
we
raw.
have Fire with Flint, which isn't... we have Aaron first with Bug.
Aaron, Bug.
Which will be
Then Bertha, right?
with...
Then it's Bertha?
Yeah, Bug, then
It's
Bertha.
Aaron, then Bertha, and then
Fire,
Flynn, and then...
Which is only active through fire types.
Yeah, because the Sinnoh deck sucks, and it's only ever getting Platinum.
And,
And then, is it Drake? Oh,
Lucian.
Lucian.
Gen 3, I think.
Oh yeah, Drake is Gen 3. I always forget Lucian exists.
Yeah, so Aaron is dealt with by Togekiss. Bertha is dealt with by any water type you can get. Probably get... I was going to say like Gaston or Quagsire, but that's... I suppose we could.
Quagsire has a really low base stat total,
Yeah.
but it's still good Mon. And Gastrodon is also a very good Mon.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking
You're
about
more
4
likely
times
to get a
grass sweetness.
Quagsire. You're more likely to get Quagsire, which while it does have only a 430 base stat total, it is still good Mon. But if you can get a Shellos, then I would recommend using the Gastrodon over the Quagsire. Because I believe Gastrodon has a higher base stat total. Because I know that Quagsire's is 430 because Quagsire and Clodsire have the same base stat total. And people always talk about keeping Clodsire, like stuck between the decision of keeping Clodsire because it's cute or ditching it because it has 430 base stat total. And I remember that they have the same BSD because Game Freak is too like scared or something to change BSDs for losers.
Through Scarlet and Violet, and it wasn't that bad, so I don't think Quagsire would be that bad either.
I used Clodsire in Violet, and it's like one of my best mons.
Yeah.
But then again, my Clodsire has water absorb, so.
I think mine did as well.
I didn't even know it had any other ability. I thought it was yeah, because I noticed that it would wasn't getting hit by water absorb, and I was like, oh, they must have only given it water absorb because it used to be water type in it's Sinnoh that Loop is from, right? Sinnoh. So they gave it a immune to water ability to go back to the water type while also keeping it a poison ground type. But no, it's just an ability I got, luckily, from my first Wooper. Yeah, ignoring Clodsire. This isn't Polygon. We love you, Clodsire. You're better than Quagsire. I'm sorry, Quagsire, but true. But Clodsire, sadly, isn't Norwegian. We'll have to leave you alone for now. We'll talk about you when we cover Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, anyway, so for the Elite Four, Togekiss covers Aaron. Any water type that we get would cover both Bertha and Flint's fire types, and then the rest can just be dealt by everybody else. And then we've got Lucian, who is normally a difficult one, but can probably be dealt with by...
What's Lucian's team again?
Psychic.
No, what team
I'm just grabbing it up, sorry. And you've got Mr. Mime, Giraffrid, Medicham, Alakazam, and Rotom.
Oh. The Alakazam's probably going to be the hardest thing to get past because Alakazam is a very good special attacker. Mr. Mime is really good at... Mr. Mime's really good at setting up light screens, and the other one I forgot the name of. So you'd have to keep an eye out for that. The Alakazam's the biggest threat. Medicham can pose a threat, but if you can knock it up, it shouldn't be too bad. Bronzong shouldn't be too bad as well, unless you can get us some good moves, because its steel typing does make it quite bulky. And what was the other one you said? Giraffrid. Giraffrid shouldn't be too much of a problem if I'm remembering its BSD correctly.
Okay, all good.
And I will say this again, I am only helping you because it gives me more entertainment.
We just went on like a
Don't mind me, I'm grabbing a bag full of books.
a whole like 10-20 minute rant over deciding whether to keep going to reveal or having my top. That's how that started.
That's how this works, Jensen.
It is. Yeah,
Which
so we
book
keep
should I write in? The flower book, my brand new book, or my fearless book? Fearless, okay. The fearless one's the oldest one,
Zubat.
but I haven't really written in it much. It's okay, but yeah. Also, wanna know one of the books I got? Not too recently, but like kind of recently, like late 2022. The Security Breach Files. Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I got the blacklisted ending wrong. Well, let me find it.
Okay.
Ending
What is
5.
that? What we call Zubat?
Not blacklisted, sorry. I'm thinking of UCM. UCM Pizza VIP ending.
Yeah,
Page 92.
Yeah. That was a really difficult one to get.
You don't need gold, you actually don't need the gold collectibles.
It
You
took
just need, I
ages
think
for
it's
me to get it
49.
because no matter what I did right, it wouldn't let me use the door. It was really annoying.
Yeah, you need, it says here you need the golden collectibles, you don't. You just need, I think it's 49 collectibles.
Yeah.
Because I watch Actual Spiff, and he speedruns the game. And a lot of other games. And you don't need, because it says here, you need, you need the golden collectibles, and then a bunch of other collectibles. And then it like tells you how to get all the gold collectibles.
Yeah.
And only then can you get a VIP ending, which is incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
You need 49 collectibles of any type. They can be upgrades, they can be anything else.
What we call
So,
Zubat.
fun fact. Official Scott Coffin book is wrong. Not the first time. Ultimate Guide. Character Encyclopedia. Fazgoo. To be fair though, Fazgoo was a creative choice. That's just disgusting.
Yeah.
The other two are like factually wrong though.
Yeah. What we calling Zubat.
What we're calling Zubat. Dracula.
Okay.
Very creative, I know.
So sorry.
Very
if
creative, I
know. Oh my god! I just called it. Oh no.
You can just change the nickname.
Good point.
What did you call it?
Dr. Doctor.
You call him Doctor. Hello. I'm forgetting how many pages I filled up in this book. Dang. I really did fill up more than I realized.
Name writer.
I really did fill up more of this fearless book than I realized, didn't I? How many? Jesus Christ. Why did I write in Sharpie for the majority of this book? Sharpie is so annoying.
It's on the city,
Why
so
did
we're
I
not
write in
that far away.
really old drawing I don't like? Okay, here we go. I finally found a blank page. And there's drawings right on the other side of it. Of stands I used, but it is really badly drawn. Because I didn't know how to draw it. Yep, still more pages to scroll through. Did I seriously fill up this entire book? There's no way. I never remember filling up this entire book. Where's the end to it? There's a fairy. Drawing. Addition. Drawing. Math. More math. Oh yeah, I wrote in this book during my math. Of course. Oh yeah, this horror drawing. I forgot to name this one. A bunch of treble classes. Whatever reason. More math. Conversion. Blank sheet of paper. I didn't realize how much of this book I filled up. Okay. Wait, now where's that pen? Oh, I know. School bag. There we go. I got a pin.
I got distracted. That was weird.
Okay. So what's the current team comp we're running?
Huh?
What's the current team?
At the moment, we've got Turtwig, Starly.
Stolly?
Yeah. Shinx.
Stolly? What?
Shinx.
Yep. Buddy.
Abra.
Abra.
And
Dude.
And then, obviously, as soon as we beat Wolf, we're going to replace Turtwig with Nuzlocke.
Yeah. So this is the current team. And then, how do you spell? Is current 1 R or 2 R? Thank you. I read it with 1 R. This is one of the smartest people of my school, people. Doesn't know how to spell the word current. That really tells you a lot about my school. I'm kidding. I'm just don't know the English. So by the time we hit the Elite 4, assuming we have no deaths, we're gonna want Togekiss for sure. Togekiss, Gastrodon / Quagsire, depending on which one we can get. Because if we can't get a Shellos, we'll settle for Quagsire, because Quagsire's base I told us is the best. Will we bring Chad to the Elite Four though? Maybe. What's Psychic Leap do again? I always forget.
Dark Fallen Ghost.
Dark Bark Ghost. Okay, we're going to need to keep that in mind when we're making our team comps, because, like for Elite Four, because Alakazam on Lucian's team.
Yeah.
Assuming he plays his cards right, like the Lucian bot, he could be like a team sweeper. Okay, what is the Alakazam's moveset on Lucian's team? And yes, chat, we are preparing for the Elite Four when we're not even at the first gym.
It's got Nasty Plot.
Nasty Plot. Okay. Psychic.
Future Sight.
Future Sight. That's not good.
And Shockwave.
Okay. It doesn't have Calm Mind, but it has Future Sight. Calm Mind, if you said Calm Mind was on that Alakazam, we would have to have, at least, a coverage move against that on, a good chunk of Pokemon, even if we didn't have a stab one on many Pokemon. Because Calm Mind Alakazam, we've all fought Sabrina's Alakazam, and if you haven't, you're clearly under the age of 14. Because we've got the Kanto fight. We've all fought Sabrina's Alakazam. Unless you got someone else to beat it for you, because you can beat it. Sabrina's Alakazam has Calm Mind. And I think all of her variants. Alakazam's kind of Calm Mind. Sweet. Any psychic special attacker with Calm Mind sweeps with high special attack score.
If we bring a dark type Pokemon to Elite Four, that can be a good answer.
Yeah.
Because the only one with moves against dark types is Medicham, and then Mr. Mime Dazzle.
Yeah.
Then Giraffre can only hit us with Thunderbolt, Alakazam with Shockwave, and Bronzong can go with... Bronzong doesn't have any type of
Trick Room. So we're not going to bring a slow Pokemon in just in case it's Trick Room.
How long is the honey, for example?
I think either a day or
6 hours.
6 hours, never mind. I knew it was an absurdly long time. But 6 hours is less absurd than I thought. I
maybe...
looked up to look up something, but I'm too lazy because I can't reach. Can you tell me what are the fully evolved dark types in the BDSP Pokedex before Elite Four? Because I know that the BDSP Pokedex is not the same as Diamond and Pearl or Platinum. Because Platinum's deck is the best Sinnoh dex. Diamond and Pearl is like terrible because it has 2 fire types, like this, the starter and Rapidash. And then
we've got the underground as well with dark types.
Yeah.
So we've got Absol, Cacturn.
Absol what?
Cacturn.
Cacturn.
Skuntank.
Skuntank.
Fifthly.
Oh, let me write these down. Absol, Cacturn, Skuntank, Shift. Tree. Do we have Drapion? Is that before Elite Four?
It is.
Drapion. Because I remember the Drapion is dark poison because it removes its bug type.
Since when did Skuntank and Drapion only have 1 weakness?
I don't know. Because I just remember seeing Scorbrook. I remember seeing clips of Scorbroopy being in the Great Mine, something, whatever it's called. And I know that when Scorbroopy evolves, it removes bug type to basically. Houndoom. Yep. Crook. Weavile. Yep. Umbreon, aka fuck that, no.
Tyranitar.
Cheetar. Yes, I heard Cheetar.
I think that's it. Because the only other 2 are Spiritomb and Darkrai, and I'm not about to try and get Spiritomb.
Yeah. And you can't get Darkrai to 8-4. Yeah. So Absol pure dark type, so I think we can cross that off. Because if we have just a pure dark type, it's only going to be helpful to us for Pokemon that are weak to dark, whereas for stab moves. Whereas if it's pure typing, it has the other type that could be of use to us. So I think we can remove Absol off the list simply because it is a pure dark type. Okay. I'm gonna pull up the base stat totals for all these Pokemon in a second. T-Tar is a Pseudo, right? Oh, okay, perfect.
So Tyranitar has a 600 base stat total.
Yeah, because as we said, T-Tar is a Pseudo. And
Weavile has 510.
Weavile is 510, yep.
Honchkro's 505.
Yep.
Houndoom is 500.
Yep.
Drapion is 500.
Umbreon?
When did Umbreon? I've lost Umbreon.
You did Umbreon. Because you said Absol, Cacturn, Skuntank, Shiftry, Drapion, Houndoom, Honchkro, Weavile, Umbreon, T-Type.
Which base stat cycle did you make it?
Umbreon, Shiftry, Skuntank, Cacturn, because we're not doing Absol.
Umbreon is 525.
Yep.
Shiftry is 410.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember Shiftry being... I was gonna say, I remember Shiftry being pretty mediocre. Yeah, Skuntank, Captain. That's all I'm saying.
Skuntank is 479.
Yep.
It's a really weird specific number. Cacturn is
True.
475.
And then we're not doing Absol because it's pure dark type. Yeah.
Absol is weaker than most of them. I think Absol's the weakest out of all of them.
I think these are actually in base that total order from weakest to strongest. Because I wrote them in the order that you told me.
Oh yeah,
And they're only the weakest to strongest. Yeah, with Cheetar being at the bottom because it's a pseudo legendary, obviously. Yeah. And also Absol's pure dark typing makes it pretty unuseful. Not very useful.
Do you want to write down the evolution levels as well?
Yeah, sure.
So Cacturn is 32.
Evo 32, yeah.
Skuntank is 34.
Yep.
Shiftry is a leaf stone.
Yep.
Drapion is 40.
Yep.
Houndoom is 24.
Yep.
Honchkrow is Duskstone.
Yep.
Weavile is Razorclaw.
Yep.
Umbreon is High Friendship at 9, which would probably be difficult to do on screen.
Yeah, that's why I said Umbreon, aka fuck that. Because you need high friendship, and you need it to be nighttime.
Yeah, and then T-Tar is 55.
Yeah.
Check the level of the so T-Tar we can do because the lowest is Aaron with 57. So we can do that.
Level cap 57. Okay.
That's the lowest in the Elite Form, and Cynthia is 66.
Yeah. So we can do all of these because level cap 57 and the highest is 55.
Yeah, we're doing loose level caps anyway, so we don't have to strictly stay to them. We just don't have, we just can't purposely overlap.
Looking at this list, I found something interesting. Cacturn is the second weakest, but it evolves 8 levels after Houndoom. And Houndoom is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th best. 4th best is Umbreon because we're probably not going to do that. Yeah. So Houndoom's a pretty good one if we're looking for quick to level up decent. Should I cross off Umbreon for being a high friendship with Night?
Yes.
Yeah, we're crossing off Umbreon. And we've crossed off Absol. So I think it would also be best to cross off the ones who have like really high Evo levels for not giving up. So for example, T-Tar wouldn't count because well, its Evo level is 2 levels. Yeah. Like the Evo level is 2 levels below the level cap. However, it's extremely worth it because it's a pseudo legendary. However, Pokemon like Skuntank evolves at level 34 and is the 3rd weakest on this list. And Drapion evolves at level 40 and is the 4th weakest. So I think we could cross off Cacturn, Skuntank, Drapion if they're evolving so late and not having very good like comeback. Because ignoring Houndoom, who evolves very early on level 24, the top 5 Pokemon, including Umbreon, all evolve from top 2 to top 3. Sorry, top 2 to top 4. They all evolve without a strict level. T-Tar, 55. Umbreon, High Friendship 9. Weavile, Brace Claw. Honchkrow, Duskstone.
Shiftry is you can't do it because you have to get the national dex.
Oh yeah, Shiftry, nope.
Let's see if there's any more like that. I don't think
Skuntank and Cacturn.
The rest are.
So we've knocked
able
off
to get
the top. We've knocked off the top 4 weakest. Now we're just left with T-Tar, Weavile, Honchkrow, Houndoom. Houndoom is really good because for a 500 base set total, you're evolving at level 24. And Houndoom is Dark Fire, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's a pretty decent typing. Like,
then obviously we've not got many fire typing.
yeah.
It's just based
And
on whether we
Aaron,
get
Slugger makes the fire, right?
Huh?
Slugger makes the fire, right? Blech. Pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Houndoom would be great for both Lucian and Aaron.
It's just whether we'll be able to get Houndoom in the ground in the underground.
Yeah. But if we can get a Houndour, we are bringing the Houndoom into the Elite Four.
Yeah.
Because Houndoom evolves level 24, very low level, has a really high base set total, 6 out of all of our options, but base set total 500, has an amazing typing because it has stab for both Lucian and Aaron.
Houndoom we found was 240 and 50 as well, but they are quite late. Oh wait, no, I think that's with Pokemon.
It resists, Houndoom resists Flint, because Flint's a fire type user. So that's a good resistance in there. And, well, Houndoom is great for Burst. It's super effective against the first and the last Elite Four member and resists the third. So I think Houndoom is a really good asset to probably bring to the Elite Four. Honchcrow's Dark Flying, right?
Yes.
Let's speak the Flying.
Flying, we've got Bug, Grass. I think that's it. No, Fighting. Bug, Grass and Fighting.
What's Cynthia's BDSP team again?
Cynthia's you've got Spiritomb,
Yep.
Roserade,
Yeah.
Lucario, Gastrodon,
Yeah.
Milotic, and Garchomp.
I feel like Houndoom would be a better solution for her Roserade.
And Lucario
So I feel like we
as
can
well.
cross, and Lucario. So I feel like we can cross off Honchcrow. Because Honchcrow does have 5 more base stat total than Houndoom,
But that isn't.
but it has a Dust Stone, which could be really annoying to get.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where you get it. And Houndoom just has a better typing, because Houndoom also resists Flint.
Yeah.
So I feel like we can cross off Honchcrow.
Though it does go both ways for Houndoom and Lucario, like they're both weak to each other. But if it comes out in the order Spiritomb, Roserade, Lucario, at that point after Lucario we don't need Houndoom anymore because it's 2 water types on the ground forever.
Yeah.
So
And
if
anyway,
we need to, we can sacrifice
if we level up
and
Houndoom,
Lucario.
if we level up Houndoom on Pokemon that give use EVs,
Yeah.
or we give it a quick claw, or just like have it around the same level as the Lucario,
Yeah.
then the Houndoom will most likely outspeed. What's Houndoom's speed stat?
Houndoom's speed stat is a 95 and Lucario's is 90.
Yeah, so
But
Lucario.
the entire Elite Four is EV trained in this game.
Yeah, I know that. So I was gonna say the chat. That's why we're building our Elite Four team
Yeah.
at yours, despite this being a Nuzlocke. Because of the fact
I did beat Raw by the way.
that it's a Nuzlocke.
First bad.
Welcome back, Pokemon. We're building the Elite Four team.
Yeah, we're
We're
building
just
our final team.
we're currently picking a dark type. We crossed off Absol because it's dark, Cacturne, Skuntank, and Drapion because they have really high EV, like evolution levels for being some of the worst dark types on the list. Skipper because it's natural dex and has really low base set total with a Leaf Stone, which is like we could just use a Leafeon at that point. We're thinking about crossing off Honchcrow because Houndoom can do its job around the same level and is a level 24 evolution.
Chad's on the team instead of Infinity now.
Alright. So what's the Lucario's EV training on the BDSP, Cynthia? Do we know?
I'll Google it.
Okay. Yeah, as I said, chat, we're doing this right after work because of the fact that the BDSP Elite Four or EV and Ice trained. Like, and Cynthia's is made to be exactly perfect, and the Elite Four's is next to perfect. Because people kept complaining Elite Four was too easy, so they made it way too hard.
Let's have a look. What EV spread do the Elite Four have?
How about a competitively raised Murkrow? Are you talking about like Murkrows from like the Wolfie VPC video where he's like the Murkrows ruined his entire strategy? Because if you are, I have to break it to you, Houndoom still does it better.
No, it didn't say.
Okay. We're just going to have to hope that we outspeed them. Because with just the base stats total, Houndoom outspeeds. But if we're not taking into account EV training, we could be outspecced by the Lucario.
Yeah.
So if we're using Houndoom, we have our safest bet would be to train it up on Pokemon that gives you speed EVs. That way we can make sure we're outspeeding the Lucario. What's Honchkro's speed stat?
Honchkro's speed stat was Honchkro's speed stat is 71.
Honchkro's speed stat is 24 less than Houndoom. Yeah, we're not using Honchkro. Yeah, Honchkro is terrible against Lucario. We're almost never going to outspeed that. Whereas with Houndoom, there is a big chance to crit. So I think we might bring Houndoom, even if it's just for Aaron and Lucario and Roserade.
Yeah.
Weasel's a very good ice type. We might just bring Weavile for the Garchomp. We might bring Togekiss and Weavile. In the case that Togekiss dies, Weavile absolutely murders Garchomp.
I'm pretty sure that in BDSP, Cynthia's Garchomp is very heavily speed.
Yeah. So I remember in Diamond Pearl Platinum, if you had a Weavile, I remember in Diamond Pearl Platinum, if you had a Weavile that could beat Cynthia's Garchomp, I think we might bring Weavile Togekiss, because in the event that Togekiss or Weavile die, either one, we can bring in the other one against the Garchomp.
Yeah.
So I think, because Garchomp is her biggest hitter, I think it would be best if we had both on the team.
Yeah.
Togekiss,
we could
Togekiss
use
can be egg and Weavile
fairy type for Spiritomb as well to deal with it quickly.
Yeah, because Spiritomb's only weakness is fairy, I believe.
Yeah.
Because I remember before Gen 6, it had no weaknesses because it is not ghost type. So its only weakness is fairy.
Yeah.
So I feel like Weavile could also be a good alternative if Togekiss gets like really low HP in Spiritomb. Yeah. So I feel like we'll bring both Houndoom and Weavile. So that's 4 out of our 6 to be Elite Four. Are we bringing P-Cards in Elite Four? Sandstorm is a big issue with P-Cards. That's one of the biggest things that makes not working with P-Card is the fact that it's Sandstorm.
That's the best part of doing combo damage.
Yeah. If we want to bring in P-Card, we have to at least bring 1 or 2, like, if we bring in P-Card, our last member has to be immune to Sandstorm. Otherwise, we can only have P-Card out
That can be our Gastrodon /Vampire.
Yeah. Because, like, if we bring in P-Card to deal with one of Cynthia's Pokemon early, and then we try to bring in Togekiss or Weavile against the Garchomp, that could see the end to Togekiss or Weavile.
Especially if we give something like a focus after one of them, and the Sandstorm will break it, and then.
Yeah. So that's why I'm making Magikarp. It is an amazing Pokemon, simply for being a pseudo legend, but because of its Sandstorm ability, yeah.
instead of
You have to basically build like
TT.
Reinhardt from Switch, and we're not doing that. So I think we can effectively cross off T-Tar for having Sandstorm, which is, it's very rare that you cross off Pseudo Legend in favor of Pokemon who have 100 BS speed. Less than it, but because of the Sandstorm and the fact that this is a Nuzlocke, I think that we're gonna have to. Yeah. Do we have items in this Nuzlocke?
Held,
Like,
yes.
we're allowed items. Yeah, so we're allowed to use items in battle. Okay.
I'm not
That's
allowing
still
items
something-
from the bag, but held items, yes. Only held items.
Yeah. I meant like items from the bag,
Oh,
so
no.
like in like the battle screen, can you click bag and like use a
No.
potion? No items, okay, then yeah, T-Tar is a definite no. So we're going with Houndoom and Weavile for our dark types, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, because Houndoom has base 500 base stat totals and evolves at level 24, which is insane.
Yeah.
And it's good for Aaron, Lucian, and Resist Flint. Well, Resist Flint's fire types. And Weavile is base 510 BSD. Evolves with Razor Claw, which I don't know how early you can get, but still.
It's after Snow
but-
Point, I think, after the 7th gym.
Yeah. And Weavile is essential for Garchomp with Togekiss. So I think we're bringing in Houndoom and Weavile.
When do you get the underground is after Gardenia, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, so I think
So we have
get,
4 Pokemon right now. We have Togekiss, Gastrodon the Quagsire, Houndoom, and Weavile. We need 2 more. Gastrodon / Quagsire can handle Bertha. We might want one other Pokemon to handle Bertha, just in case. Like, if one of them dies before or during the Elite Four, we would definitely want someone else to deal with Bertha. Because currently none of our teams can really do much to Bertha. Unless I don't understand how to match up to
we
Togekiss.
could bring Torterra.
We could. We just couldn't use it for, like, practically anything.
That deals with all of Earth, and that's pretty much it. Maybe we can use it for Myotic and Gastrodon.
Yeah.
Maybe a tiny bit with ground type moves for Lucario.
So we might bring in Torterra.
That's a maybe.
It's a maybe though, so I won't write it down yet. Season 10.
You could write it down like in the corner just so we don't forget.
Yeah. I wrote so I might just show stream like later if you can like show my camera on Discord in like a bit. Not right now, but you can continue on. But right now I have like the current team. I wrote chart / chat because I was writing this before Wolf, now after Wolf. And then I have all the dark types that we're listing off. The level cap at the bottom. The Elite 4 teams. And that's all. So I have a big space in the middle that I can use for anything else. So we might bring in Torterra, which could handle Bertha with Gastrodon / Quagsire, because anything like bag going on with them. So now we just need one more Pokemon, assuming we're bringing in Torterra.
I'm just gonna have a look through.
This is also assuming none of these Pokemon die before the Elite Four. Because if they do, we're gonna have to do some major course correcting. Yeah. Just thing for chat. The reason we are planning our Elite Four team right around like after War, even though these Pokemon could die before we, or like never be found before we even get to like when we're in Elite Four, is because of how difficult BDSP Elite Four is. It's best to have a plan really far in advance and then be able to adapt later on if need be, than to get to the Elite Four, not know what you're doing, and already have all of your encounters wasted. Yeah. This is also assuming that we get the encounter we want, though.
And assuming we get to the Elite Four.
Yeah. Are you using Dupe's Claws?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So if we get a dupe, we could try again.
Yeah.
But aside from that, how rare is Houndoom / Houndour?
It's in the underground.
What are the rules for like overworld like spawn encounters? Is it like just the first you notice?
That might be what me and Mike were doing for Sword and Shield. Just like close my eyes and run around until I run into something. Or I could
And
just
then
do like the
for
first one I see.
Yeah. How rare is Weavile?
Weavile.
Slash
Have a look.
Sneasel.
Sneasel can be found route 216, 217, Lake, Acuity, and Snowhorn Temple.
Okay.
But also
gives us a
Sneasel can
pretty-
be found in the Grand Underground.
Okay, yeah, that gives us a pretty decent chance
Yeah.
to find it. Yeah.
But only
I know you can
be found
find
in the Grand
Wooper
Underground
and
the
Slash
seventh
Quest.
year.
I know you can find Wooper in the Great Marsh,
Yes.
so if we can't find a Shellos, then we can try and look for a Wooper in Great Marsh. And I know you can find them elsewhere too.
So, Wooper.
Slash Quagsire, because you can also find Quagsire in the wall.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the show's both. Yeah, there you go. Quagsire and Wooper, 212. Both Wooper and Quagsire in the Great Marsh, and both in the Swampy Cave, which is underground, and Quagsire in the Fountain Swamp Cave as well. Okay, so there's 3 different rooms that they can spawn in underground as well as Shellos and Gastropod are in quite a few places underground.
Yeah. I don't remember where Shellos is, but I know there's like one
Valley
town
Woodworks.
where it's like Valley Woodworks, yeah. And then, is there any other spawns for Shellos?
We've got the Grand Underground places. Ground Tech. We got Route 2, Wago Ironworks.
Like Goku?
Then we've got Gastrodon 222, Gastrodon 221, Telos Route 205, Gastrodon and Telos 218, both in Wago Ironworks, both in 224, Gastrodon 230, and both in the Fountain Swamp. So both of them spawn in quite a few areas. So we do have quite a high chance of getting a water ground.
I'm thinking we bring in Luxray as our last Pokemon.
We could do that.
Shinx is a pretty common Pokemon, and Luxray is really decent.
Luxray could help against Milotic, Flint's Drifblim, maybe Lucian's Mr. Mime, maybe. So, Aaron's Beautifying Vespercled. And then that's it.
Yeah. And since it's useful against a couple Pokemon, which we do have other options for, we also could use Luxray as Death Fodder if need be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we could bring in Luxray. Yeah, I'm thinking Luxray.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, what's common, like, Sinnoh Pokemon? Luxray came to mind. Because we already have a water type, so Weasel wouldn't be in here. So I was going with the basics and everything.
Let's see if I can get anything that isn't a water encounter.
You really should have picked the monkey.
Huh?
You really should have picked the monkey as your starter.
I should have.
Yeah. Infernape's the best in this area.
Yeah.
Because Empoleon is like the worst looking, but it's like around second best maybe. Because like it's steel typing. Makes it like
what we
the fire
did
that's
is we picked Turtwig mainly for raw, because you don't really get any good encounters for him before that.
yeah.
It's the only
But like for
chance
like,
to get.
but like for the long haul, Infernape would have been a better choice. But for the wolf thing, you're right. The limited encounters, the reward with not good Pokemon options.
Like
Turtwig
for the
is
rest
also
of the game, there's like other fire types you can get, like Houndoom. You can get Ponyta, Rapidash.
Yeah, and that's like it.
Yeah.
And also just Infernape's a really good Pokemon in general. Firefighting, very good for use for starters, but still very good. Bring in Luxray, and then what did you say we're bringing in?
We had 3 firefighting starters.
Yeah, Blaziken, Infernape, and Wolf. Yeah. We also had 3 fire ghost starters in a row, and that's more recent. Because we Ghost, right? Yeah. Because Gen 8 had Hisuian Typhlosion. Gen 9 has Skeledirge. And Gen 7... Gen 7's a Alola, right? Oh no, it's 2 in a row. Yeah. Fun fact, if you have a Quackable, you can make a Pokemon starter trio, Fire, Grass, Water, entirely of a fighting type birds. Blaziken for the fire type, Hisuian Decidueye for the grass type, and Quackable for the water type. So there are only 7 starter Violet. You can now have a starter trio entirely of a fighting type birds. Also, it's a minute away from being midnight. Yeah. Happy birthday.
Yay.
It's 12 o'clock now. Happy birthday. I swear I just heard the bloody, stereotypical French music in the background. You know when it goes like, I don't know, maybe I'm going crazy. Who is our 6th Pokemon that we're bringing into useful if we're not using Torterra? We have Pikachu, Gastrodon, Quagsire, Houndoom, Weavile, and Shark.
I need to write this down somewhere as well. Just so I have
I can just send you a photo of it, it's fine.
It'd be better if I write it down so then you don't have to keep sending new photos every time you add something.
So the Elite Four team we have planned.
Hang on, I will be...
But are you able to show stream my camera in a second?
Yes. I'll
Okay.
I'm back. I just need to get a pen. So, what team are we going
Oh, I need to turn my light on. 1 second.
If you just send me a picture and I'll just like copy most of it down there.
Okay.
I
I have my light on.
How do I make it big? I want it big. Give me a big.
Can stream see me?
2 seconds. Window capture. Discord.
Sorry. Sorry, you have to stream for a second. Sorry.
Okay,
Sorry, you have to stream for a second. Okay, I'm ready.
My webcam closed.
Okay.
Okay. When you're ready.
So the current team we have: Turt/Chad, Scotty, Shinx, Budu, Abra, Geodude. Here's all the stuff with the dark type. Level cap around 57 for the Elite Four. And the current Elite Four team we have: Togekiss, Gastrodon, Quagsire, Houndoom, don't mind my handwriting, Weavile, and Luxray. So what's the 6th Pokemon we're gonna use?
Just grab
Because we said we could use Torterra for Bertha and then possibly Death Fodder or Milotic. But what else could we use? Because we already have Luxray for Milotic and Gastrodon/Quagsire for Bertha.
What was the other two? I've got Togekiss, Gastrodon, or Quagsire and Houndoom. And then I've got Weavile.
The only one that has a slash is Gastrodon/Quagsire. Because they're the same typing. But Quagsire is like 8 this time.
It'll help that spell.
Don't worry, mine's probably misspelled as well, don't worry.
So,
My brother hates me, that's what. It is possible that I'm talking so loudly. My brother probably hates me.
You are no longer. So, let me just grab your encounters again. So,
We're really typing so easy.
could get
Nincada. Why would we want a Nincada?
thinking we could go. Because I don't think Cynthia's Dark is going to get
Smart.
it. Doesn't. Does anyone? Okay, so Gastrodon's the only one who has something against. No, Gastrodon, Spiritomb. Gastrodon and Spiritomb are the only two that have something against Shedinja.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about our team against Garchomp.
So Gastrodon and Shedinja, not Gastrodon and Spiritomb are the only two that have something against Shedinja.
So if we're trying to heal up Pokemon, not heal up Pokemon, if we're trying to like figure out our moves against the Garchomp and try and whittle it down, well, like saving our other Pokemon, we could just bring up Shedinja because the Garchomp has nothing for it, and then whittle it down, and then bring out Weavile or Togekiss. Yeah, Shedinja is actually really smart. If we can keep the Shedinja like untouched and kill Garchomp, Shedinja is actually like perfect.
But it's
So are we writing
really in the ground
Shedinja/Torterra or just Shedinja? Are we just writing Shedinja/Torterra or just Shedinja? Because I think Shedinja might actually be better than Torterra, not gonna lie. You might have to bench your starter.
Yeah. Let's have a look.
No offense to Torterra, but
yeah,
once you get past Warp and then Nuzlocke, Torterra is useless.
pretty much.
So I think we might just have to use Shedinja, because Shedinja
Yeah.
against the Garchomp, like the whittle down plan, that's like perfect.
Nincada is only available in the ground.
So we could write Shedinja, and then we don't end up finding it in Grand Underground.
I put it with a question mark on mine.
Yeah. I'll just write 10. Shedinja. I can't spell.
We could go in with our own Garchomp.
Yeah. I was thinking we could go with our own Garchomp, but then I remembered that if we don't outspeed it, we are dying to that Garchomp because it's like a I'm effective against you, but also with the same Pokemon, so you're also effective against me. So if we can't outspeed it, we're most likely dying. Yeah. But if we can't get Shedinja for the chip down method, Garchomp would probably be the best replacement. So I'd say Garchomp if we can't get Shedinja, and Garchomp for the rest of the game if we can get Garchomp.
Else that is a good idea in my eyes.
Yeah. So the Elite Four team I've written down here is Togekiss,
Yeah.
because of its fairy typing being absolutely broken. Gastrodon, or if you can't get Gastrodon, Flagstar, because it's the same typing. Don't mind my pride teaching. Sorry. Houndoom and Weavile for their dark typing, and also because Weavile's good against the Garchomp, and Houndoom is a good Pokemon. Luxray, both for its electric typing and for Death Water if you need it. And Shedinja, if we can find it, for whittling down the Garchomp without it being able to hit us as a very cheeky move. Or if you can't find Shedinja, then Garchomp.
Yeah.
The only condition with Houndoom is we need to speed EV train it. If Houndoom doesn't get any CBDs, there's a chance that Lucario outspeeds it and kills it.
Yeah. I'm not going to be proud about using Shedinja in a Nuzlocke, but it's probably the best idea for Brilliant Dive position.
Yeah. Okay.
What was our other option apart from Shedinja? What was it? Was it
Garchomp.
Iron Garchomp?
Yeah, Garchomp. Or Torterra.
Yeah, because we're going to have to go for Wayward to get Gibble.
Yeah.
And it's going to... What level does Garchomp evolve?
I don't know. It is a pseudo, so it'll probably be a really high level.
Yeah. I imagine it'd be around like 58 maybe. That seems reasonable.
Around the same level as T-Tar. Yes, I told you I wrote T-Tar. Which is around 55. So possibly around that level. I'm unsure though.
What level did Garchomp?
Yeah, from Goodbite to Garchomp.
48.
Not the 48. That's surprisingly low compared to T-Tar.
I think. It evolves from Gabite starting at level 48. That's quite low.
T-Tar is 55. I think we might have
Garchomp
to
is
go
the
with
way to go
Garchomp.
if we don't get Shedinja, but we're going to have to protect Shedinja until we can get there. Because no matter what...
So the plan with our 6th Pokemon slot, if we can get it, bring a Shedinja. Don't use the Shedinja until Garchomp comes out, and then bring out the Shedinja and whittle it away.
We could also utilize the Shedinja for Lucian.
Oh yeah, Lucian doesn't have anything against Shedinja.
Yeah, nothing can hit Shedinja in Lucian's team, so we could use that against the Alakazam.
Yeah.
And maybe the Bronzong.
Can Future Sight hit Shedinja?
Bronzong has payback.
Does Future Sight hit Shedinja?
I don't think so.
Because I don't know what rules Future Sight goes by. Sorry, I just flipped my pen by accident. I'm trying to find it, sorry.
There's Future Sight. Entry hazards. Do not take... Attacks that do not take their type into account.
That pen's messed up.
Future Sight can hit Shedinja.
Yeah, I was thinking like Future Sight, because you use the move and then you wait a bit and then it hits. I would feel like it wouldn't have the same typing. So if we see Future Sight, we have to immediately swap out Shedinja, and we can't use Shedinja against Bronzong.
It's right to target 2 turns after it's used. So we have the attack on the turn that it's used, the attack after, then we have to switch into our dark types.
Yeah. Ripper. What the hell is that pen? There it is. Found it.
So we can play around it.
Yeah. So the plan for slot number 6 is, if we find it, use Shedinja. And try and keep it alive until Garchomp, and then use that to whittle it away. And then once we start running out of PP, we move on to Weavile and Jellyfish.
It's just going to be quite difficult to deal with Bronzong, because that's Earthquake, so we can't really use Houndoom. Gyro Ball, so we can't really use Weavile. And Earthquake.
And Payback, so we can't use Shedinja.
Yeah, so...
What's its ability? What's that Bronzong? Does the Bronzong have Levitate or Secret?
Levitate.
Levitate, okay. So we can't use Gastrodon.
We can't really use anything.
Yeah, Gastrodon is really work. Yeah, the plan for slot 6 is we can't get a Shedinja, but it's like the cheat move.
We might have to
Try and
use
get a Garchomp.
Gastrodon or Quagsire for Bronzong, just no super effective moves.
And if we can't get our Garchomp, Torterra is the last option. Because it's good for Bertha in case we want to preserve Gastrodon slash Quagsire. And then we'll just use it as Death Fodder with Luxray. And then Gastrodon slash Quagsire, we can't really use Earthquake for the, what's it called? The bell. Bronzong. But aside from that, it can hit it. Also, speaking of bells, all of you YouTube viewers, hit the bell on both this channel and the main channel. And if you haven't already, subscribe and like. Thank you. As you can see,
that was so sweet.
A lot of work. Thank you. As you can see, a lot of work goes into these streams and videos, so we would greatly appreciate it. Hashtag not spawning.
Yeah, so Bronzong, the only one that it doesn't have in R1, so if we go Togekiss, Gastrodon slash Quagsire, Houndoom, Weavile, Luxray, Shedinja, the only one that it can't hit for super effective damage is Gastrodon or Quagsire. But we can't use our ground type moves.
What is a weak to aside from fire? Because I know that it can have two abilities, Levitate or Heat Proof, and that negates one of its weaknesses. Levitate removes its ground weakness, and Heat Proof removes its fire weakness. But that's why I'll put what ability it has.
The only other weaknesses are Ghost and Dark.
Ghost and Dark. We could use Weavile.
It has Gyro Ball, which does more damage the slower the Pokemon it is. So it's going to do a lot of damage to what it is.
Yes, but if we outspeed it, as long as it doesn't use Trick Room, we'll outspeed it. So if it uses Trick Room, we're going to have to come up with another strategy, and if it doesn't, Weavile or Houndoom.
Which anyway, we'll outspeed it until it uses Trick Rooms, then it should only like get 1 or 2 attacks off before we get there.
Yeah. I'm thinking we might use Houndoom instead of Weavile for like, in case it doesn't use Trick Room. Simply because we need to conserve Weavile. Because if we don't get Shedinja, Weavile and Togekiss, or if we don't get Shedinja or Garchomp, Weavile and Togekiss are the only answer for Garchomp.
For Houndoom. It has Earthquake for Houndoom, so Houndoom's quite a frail Pokemon. I feel like the only Pokemon we can use for Bronzong is Gastrodon/Quagsire.
Yeah, but Jensen, my thought process is, I'm looking for stab moves first, and Weavile and Houndoom both have stab from Houndoom's both typing and Weavile Dark, and I'm thinking like if we outspeed it, and if we outspeed it, Weavile would be the most dangerous to go into, because Weavile could miss and then get hit, and if we can't get a Shedinja or a Garchomp, Weavile and Togekiss are our only answer for her Garchomp, and so it would be safer to use Houndoom, because Houndoom is less vital to the team.
So, what do you want to do? Do you want to, for the Bronzong, do you want to bring Houndoom in, go for a fire type move? If it uses Trick Room, great. Next turn we'll switch into Togekiss to avoid the baited Earthquake.
Yeah.
And then
so we'll use Houndoom for fire type moves for the stab, and then if you use Trick Room, switch into Togekiss to bait an Earthquake out, and then switch into Gastrodon or Quagsire.
Yeah, okay. Because then if it kills our Houndoom, we'll just go straight into Gastrodon or Quagsire.
Yeah, but we're hoping that it will kill it, or almost kill it. It'll use Trick Room, we'll switch into Togekiss to bait an Earthquake, and then we'll switch to Gastrodon.
Because either way,
that would be avoiding death.
If it goes for Earthquake, we're still going to outspeed, so either way we're going to get an attack off. Just one Houndoom.
But I feel like we should... I feel like if it does around half damage, like Houndoom's fire move, and it uses Trick Room, we switch it to Togekiss anyway to be safe.
Because it is going to use Earthquake.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like we have a plan now. I'm just gonna write that down real quick. What's the bell's name again?
Bronzong.
Bell boy. Bell plan.
I'm going to
And then fire move. If Trick Room, Togekiss. If Earthquake. Do we want to switch into Togekiss as well or Gastrodon?
Just Gastrodon, because it is possible that we survive one Earthquake, but I don't think we will.
If Earthquake Gastrodon. Shit. Ship away from there. So the plan for the bell is Houndoom is a fire move, assuming it lives, and it Trick Rooms, we're using Togekiss. Gastrodon, that order. And then if it Earthquakes, we're going straight into Gastrodon and skipping Togekiss.
Yes.
Assuming it lifts the fire move. And then from Gastrodon, we'll chip away.
But if we survive one Earthquake, we'll go for another fire. I think. If it does more than half.
Yeah.
Or half. Because it is possible that, say, like, we get a crit and we open it. That's best case scenario. So we could give it a Razor Fang, I think, that boosts the critical hit ratio.
Or we could give it Quick Claw in case of the Lux, not Luxray, in case of the what's it called? Lucario. We also could give the Houndoom a Quick Claw in case of the Lucario. Because the Lucario's basically stat is very close to Houndoom, only 5 below it.
But we could switch the held item in between battles. We can do that.
We could, yeah. Are we gonna write the held item down?
Razor Claw is the one that increases critical hit. Or we could get a Scope Lens. Or a Lance.
Let's figure out the held items for the Pokemon as well. I'm about to sneeze. Oh my god. Bro, I hate this. So for Togekiss, I don't know.
Yeah.
For Gastrodon and Quagsire, I'm thinking a Mystic Water.
We could do that.
Yeah. For Houndoom, the Razor thing / Quick Claw. Weavile, I don't know. Luxray, I don't know. And Shedinja, Garchomp, Torterra, those are all lucky Pokemon, so it depends.
Shedinja, we could put a spell tag on for Alexander.
Yeah. For Togekiss, we could put a Focus Sash on it.
I'm not sure when that would be useful.
Just in case the Garchomp tried to hit us with like a rock.
Or if when we use Houndoom, we switch into Togekiss after Trick Room in case it uses Gyro Ball for some reason.
Yeah. We could like tank the hit.
Yeah, Focus Sash.
Yeah. Togekiss. Focus Sash. Gastrodon taking Mystic Water.
Yeah. Houndoom, Razor Fang, Felucian, Quick Claw for the best. Luxray.
Yeah, because Mystic Water is what I want in my Kyogre on Pokemon Showdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Houndoom, what are we using on Houndoom again?
Houndoom, we were going to give it a Razor Fang for Lucian, and a Quick Claw for everything else. Luxray.
What about Weavile?
Weavile, good question. We could give it a scope lens or a razor fang for Cynthia to try and over for it.
We could use the scope lens. I think we use scope lens because the razor fang's going on Houndoom.
That's only for Lucian. We're not going to use. Oh, we could use. Yeah. Okay. So scope lens.
Yeah. That's my thought process.
So if we have our own Garchomp, what are we going for the item?
What's the choice item that gives you plus special attack?
Plus special attack. That might be the Scarf, or is that something?
I think Scarf is speed. I'm sure Scarf is speed. I might be wrong.
So we've got Choice Band attack, Choice Scarf speed, Choice Specs is special attack.
C-Specs, okay.
What are we having the Choice Specs for? I thought we would have gone for more physical attack then.
No, because Choice Specs can Garchomp range or something?
I don't think
We could use Choice Specs, or what's the attacking one?
Choice Band, I think. Yeah, Choice Band.
Choice Band. We could use Choice Band Dragon Claw. That's my thought process. Then Torterra, what could we use on that?
We could put. Is there an item that?
Just grab it to me, I might remember it.
We could give it a soft sand.
We could.
For those ground types.
Yeah, TMs don't break in BDSP, right?
Don't know. I'll check. They might do
Because if they don't break, give it Earthquake. If they do, give it Dig.
I don't know if Torterra can work. But I think you get multiple of each TM.
Oh, okay.
Start
Then
with
give it
Torterra.
Earthquake. And then what were we using for the Shedinja?
You get multiple when you do that. Huh?
Then what are we using for the Shedinja?
Shedinja, we said Spell Tag.
And then Luxray?
We haven't decided for Luxray.
Leftovers?
We could do.
Leftovers is just a pretty decent item if you have nothing else. Or we could give it boots, or what does Rocky Helmet do?
Damages the opponent if they hit you with a physical move.
Does that count even if you die from the attack?
I don't know. Pokemon?
If it does, we could give Rocky Helmet to Luxray and then Death Fodder it on Garchomp.
I just realised I don't know where you can get a spell tag. I don't know where you can get any of the items actually. Spell tag it doesn't have a location, so I don't know if you can get it.
Okay, I'll put a slash next to it
If
then.
not, we could go with the choice specs.
Yeah. C-Specs. Okay. And then for Luxray, I'm thinking Rocky Helmet, and then pull it in for Garchomp, and let Garchomp get a few hits on it. Hope it does physical moves to kill the Luxray, and that chips away at some of Garchomp's health.
So
That's what I'm thinking.
So we've got.
And then for the rest of the Elite Four, it can have leftovers, or just Rocky
Sand
Helmet.
is where's Soft Sand? Route 109. Okay, we've got that. Mystic Water. I don't know about that one. Hang on,
If
let's
we
go
can't use Mystic
type
Water, use Choice Specs.
boosting. Yeah. Type boosting items, locations, BSP. Held items.
So, are we going with my Rocky Helmet strategy for Luxray?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Can you find Rocky Helmet in this game?
I think so. Let me see if I can find it on the list.
Okay.
Rocky Helmet.
Rocky Helmet doesn't give you anything boosted. It's just a held item.
Yeah.
So you might just want to look up held items, BDSP.
Rocky Helmet. I've searched Rocky Helmet and just trying to find the BDSP thing. Oh.
To everyone who says that our streams don't require much work, this is on a regular basis. It's just that most of the time we do it with spooky games, and it's me laughing at him, giving him strategies, instead of me sitting down with him in the middle of a Nuzlocke with a pen and paper. Oh, hey, it's the Sunday Craner meme. Do you have a pen and paper?
I don't think Rocky Helmet is in BDSP. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
It is? Okay.
Locations, you can't find in BDSP. We could just go with
So it is-
leftovers.
Yeah, we'll just go with leftovers. Yeah.
Where can you find the Mystic Water?
If we can't find that, C-Specs, I think. Can you find more than one C-Specs?
Maybe.
Because right now what I have written down is Focus Sash or Togekiss, Mystic Water or Choice Specs for Gastrodon, Razor Fang during Lucian for Houndoom, and then Quick Claw for the rest of it.
Okay, Pastoria
Scope
City
Lens for
Mystic
Weavile.
Water.
Okay. Weavile has Scope Lens, Luxray has Leftovers, and Shedinja has Spell Tag / Choice Specs, Garchomp has Choice Specs / Choice Band, and Torterra has Soft Sand.
Focus Sash is 221. Razor Fang.
Can chat still see my screen?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna turn my camera off then. Thank you.
Battle Tower. You can't get Razor Fang before the Elite Four. Battle Park. Where's
Okay,
Battle
so we're
Park?
gonna have to cross. So we're crossing off Razor Fang. We're just using Quick Claw.
Yeah.
Your strategy was good. It's just that Scope Lens is going well.
Yeah.
Happy
Scope
with Quick
Lens.
Claw.
Focus Scope Lens.
I'm gonna turn
how
off
to get
my light
Scope
1 second.
Lens? Post game. Great. I don't know then. What should we give Weavile? We could give it a Never Melt Ice. Which we found in Snow Point Temple.
Okay.
Did you hear what I
You
said?
found any info on Scope Lens?
You can't get it till post game, so we're gonna. So I
Okay.
thought Never Melt Ice, which you can get in Snow Point Temple.
What ice?
Never Melt Ice.
I've never heard of that item before.
It boosts ice type moves.
Oh, that'd be perfect for the Garchomp.
Yeah.
Like against the Garchomp, I mean.
Yeah. Leftovers. Victory Road.
Chat, wake up.
You can't get it till Victory Road, but you can get it.
Okay. Well, it's our only other option for Luxray.
And then spell tag. Did you check that spell tag?
I'm awake. Thank you, Pokemon.
Spell
Pokemon's
tag.
just sitting through me and you,
Ooh.
combing our hair, like tearing our hair out over bloody Nuzlocke. I'm gonna fucking mail this sheet of paper to you all the way from Australia to the UK.
217 for spell tag. 217.
Okay, so you can get it.
And then, but do we also want choice specs or wait? We can't get choice specs, can we? Did we ever check choice specs?
Cause choice specs, if we're actually running a Shedinja, we're putting the choice specs on. Actually, no, we can't use choice specs because we're gonna put the choice specs on the Gastrodon. We're gonna get Mystic Water, but we can, and the Garchomp, if we can't find the choice band. But if we're using Garchomp, we're not using Shedinja, so it shouldn't really matter.
Celestic Town for choice specs.
What about choice band for Garchomp if we're using a Garchomp?
I was about to check that. Choice band. Choice band. Post.
Chat, interact with us more.
Shoot. Post game.
Post game, dang it. So we're gonna have to run.
We could go
specs
for a
Garchomp.
Dragon Fang for boosting Dragon Claw. Where you can get Dragon Fang.
What'd you say?
We could go for Dragon Fang.
Is that an item?
It boosts. It's the Dragon type boosting
Move or item?
item.
Defang.
In the southeastern ground underground.
I'm trying to insert the trivia. Well, you could help us a bit more with the held items.
Then we've got soft sand if we've run a Torterra.
Yeah. We got the spell tag, we've got the spell tag if we're running a Shedinja. We've got the leftovers and Victory Road if we're running for Luxray. We've got the Neville Melt Ice for the Weavile. We've got the Quick Claw for Houndoom, Mystic Water for Gastrodon, and Focus Sash for Togekiss.
Yeah. And then soft sand can be found in Mount Coronet if you didn't hear me.
Yeah, okay. Mount Coronet's like right before Victory Road, right?
No, it's just before the Distortion World.
Distortion World?
It's just before that. It's when you're on your way, I think.
Oh yeah, because Speed Pilla's on Mount Coronet.
It might be a different part of Mount Coronet, though I'm not 100% sure. Okay, but anyway.
Do you know I did fun fact, I did a little like mini test on like recording main ideas of a text and the map, and the text we were doing, like the second text, was on I forgot the mountain name, but the mountain on a Toblerone bar. That mountain.
Oh, yeah, I ain't got it.
I think it's something horn. Starts with M and it ends with horn. And it's in the Alps, in between Italy and Switzerland, I think. And over like 500 people or something have died trying to climb it because it's a really hard mountain to climb from the top and back. And it's mountain you see on Toblerone bar.
Cool. Okay, so we're at the Valleywind Works.
Okay. Do you want to stop here and do trivia?
We got Pachirisu. That is disgusting.
Do you want to stop here and do trivia?
Yeah, I'll just catch this Pachirisu.
And then if trivia doesn't last us until the end of the stream, we could try and do our Soul Link. You can have more than one Soul Link going on at a time. And plus, I'm bored.
I wouldn't want to I'm a very forgetful person, so once I start minding it, I might forget that I'm doing one with mine. And might...
I can just constantly remind you.
We'll see. Like, maybe not this stream, you know?
Or, like, set a reminder in your phone.
Maybe. Oh, Shinx is evolving.
Is this the Shinx that we're using in Elite Four?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What nature is it?
Shinx's nature is modest.
We should probably put this Elite Four build into Showdown.
Yeah. I'm just gonna... What are we naming Pachirisu?
The Pachirisu? Let's name it Failure, like Failure the Shinx.
Sure.
From Jade Animations 1. Because we didn't want Pachirisu. oh, wait, here. Failure.
Okay,
Have you written down the Bell plan? For the plan for
have.
the Bronzong? I have too.
It's a serious guy.
We've probably written all of this down for, like, end game. And we're in the value win.
I doubt we'll even get to the end game, to be fair.
It's always good to have a plan, though.
Yeah.
Because when something goes south, you'll realize it and you'll be able to adapt. Whereas if you don't have a plan, it's going to be really hard for you to, like, make the plan in the end game, and you realize that you now have basically nothing.
Yeah, okay, so we'll do a bit of trivia, then we might come back to that, maybe, I think.
Just a reminder for the trivia rules for me, Jensen, and Pokemon. 1, if we have to avoid any questions, that is minus for Pokemon.
Yes.
Minus 1 for Pokemon. 2, all answers must be typed into the chat.
Yes. I've made that mistake before, and I didn't get the point.
Yeah. And the criteria for being the first person typed in chat is first on Pokemon screen.
It is.
So if I'm the first on my screen, but you're the first on your screen, it's whoever's on Pokemon screen first gets it. 3, you can say your answer out loud, but it's unadvised because you're just making your opponent's job easier.
Yep.
4, you can use Google. 5, you both have to type "I'm ready" before Pokemon can type out the question.
Yes.
6, all questions, unless stated otherwise, are worth 1 point.
Yes.
And 7, it is first to... I forgot how much.
I think we were doing like 100 or something.
Yeah, first to 100. Okay.
Those are the scores there. Pokemon is on minus 11, Chris is on 43, and I'm 51.
Yes, and the final thing. Pokemon... Why is Pokemon a VIP?
Because me and Pokemon made a deal that if he noticed within the first 5 minutes what changed, that he'll get it back. But if he gets to minus 15, I'll take it back off him.
It's meant to be minus 10, but whatever.
I know, but like, yeah.
Also, didn't we make the deal that he had to subscribe on Twitch?
Yeah. So what I'll do is if he gets down to minus 15, I'll take it off him again, but then he has to get above minus 10 to get it back. Like we were going to.
And then subs give you +5, and subbing to gifting a sub to a mod gives you +10.
Yes.
And just a reminder, you can use Google. And another reminder, spelling doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
It just matters if you get the answer right.
It does. 21 hours to go until the thing is up. Until the follow goal there. Because it's tomorrow. You're getting your questions.
I already have Google up on my iPad.
Same.
So. I have my phone right under my iPad. Hey, my sleepy emote.
Yeah.
I should really remake those emotes now.
Yeah.
They're looking pretty old.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Dang it. It's
Oh.
just giving me a bunch of untitled things
Keep
in
typing.
my
I
Google
wrote
search.
567th Pokemon National Dex, and it just came up straight away.
Oh, I just wrote the question, but instead of writing Pokemon, I wrote PKM.
PKM. Cool.
Okay, Mom.
Okay.
Sorry, Mom.
I need to add the score.
I didn't realize how loud I was talking.
Okay. That'll do. I can spell. I need to get ready to type.
Ruade.
Ruade.
Sorry, Mom.
I'm Ruade. Two points. This one's 2 points. Ooh.
I was first.
You were first on the chat box, but I'm first on my screen.
I'm first on my screen. Pokemon, who's first on your screen?
Chris, no!
Yep.
Ah, that was 2 points, wasn't it?
Pokemon
Was that 2
Uranium
points?
Watch
That
you.
was 2 points.
Yep, those 2 points.
I've been thinking about playing Pokemon Uranium. I might.
Okay. I am ready.
Oh, I wasn't typing.
Remember, Freddy's only count if they're sent in chat. Everything only counts when it's said in chat.
No A's allowed.
Okay, then. Just like you're not gonna get an A because you're not gonna pass.
Oh. Oh.
You're only getting E's, which is one step off from failure.
I mean, at least I'm not failure.
Yeah, you're not Pachirisu.
Exactly.
Fun fact, Pachirisu won a tournament shit once.
I know that. Whoa.
I wrote Actus Pokemon. Fuck. Dang it. I wrote Cacturn and that's it because I couldn't think of Maractus's name. Yep, you won.
Was that 3 points?
How come when I searched fucking cactus Pokemon, one of the results is a Bulbasaur with a cactus instead of a bulb?
Is it?
Yeah. One of the images.
Oh my god, that is so cute.
I know, right?
Are you seeing that one called Prickle Bun?
I've already closed the tab.
Oh, that was cool. I was just looking at the Fakemon cactus.
It's not over until I win.
I'm getting ready to type on both keyboards.
Same here. I don't have my glasses on.
All baseball. Oh, what's your name? Oh, this isn't okay. Go away, actually.
Okay, I'm just gonna have a tier list up and I'm gonna remember them from that.
Oh.
turning off iPad. What's the name of the Grass 5 starter?
Snivy.
Snivy, thank you.
Why am I helping you?
I don't know. I was hoping you wouldn't notice that and help me anyway. And it worked, so...
Done!
Shit. I'm on Oshawott.
I had struggle remembering Chikorita, because everybody does.
I just wrote Pear.
Pear?
I didn't remember Chikorita's name, so I wrote fucking Pear.
I mean, fair enough.
And I didn't remember the water Gen 2 Pokemon's name. So I wrote fucking
as well.
So I just wrote Croc.
Chris Bear's definitely a game. Did I get them all or did I miss any? 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay. 55 had 6, 61.
I still want to write them all.
You just want to finish it.
Yeah, I'm already at Grookey. Might as well.
I just realised. You know when we did the box art legendaries question?
Yeah.
Would Arceus have counted?
No, because it's not on the art.
Oh no, it's not. I thought it was.
It's in the name, it's not in the art. I have the Legends Arceus case right next to me. It's just the 2 main characters and Mount Coronet.
Why did I think Arceus was on the thing?
I don't know.
I'm a bit stupid.
There you go.
Yay!
My thing kept messing up because my iPad kept turning off.
I love Charmancer.
Shut the fuck up. Charmancer instead of Charmander, and I'm like, it's gonna be too slow to fix it. It's because I was writing commas in between everything. That's why I was slower. I gotta stop writing commas.
Oh my god. Hang on. I'm not ready. I didn't say I was ready.
I don't have a translator up. I'm just gonna hope.
Why did I put 2 D's?
And where is the A?
Good question.
The A metamorphized into a D.
I'm lost. The what name? Japanese? Do you want the Japanese characters? Aurora.
That was I didn't know you wanted the characters. I thought you wanted the writing. Cause I got
Ursaluna.
I got one of the people, I think. And then I was trying to write down the words. I didn't know you wanted the Japanese characters. I need to change
the thing. Hang on.
Oh, I also forgot. Copy pasting isn't allowed. So any questions that like require copy paste, like Japanese characters or listing things, we're allowed to write down in English because we can't use copy paste.
But if it's like a translate one, you're allowed to copy paste it, obviously, because like I don't have a Japanese keyboard on the side.
I literally can't. Jensen, I literally can't copy paste.
Okay,
because my iPad is where I Google and my phone is where I type things. We made this rule last time.
No more.
We can't copy paste because of the fact that I can't copy paste things.
Okay. Pokemon, no more translating ones, because that is too much.
Yeah.
I need to just change that to. Let's go Legends Arceus, because why not? Lying. Let's go. Yeah, no, I ain't even finished the Ultimate Journeys.
I can't even watch it. I have nothing to watch it on.
I found something to watch it on, but it started being a bit weird. So I might just have to wait.
Jensen, I'm waiting for you.
I'm going to stick with that. Ready. I can spell chat, by the way. I'm just choosing not to.
Alright then. Copium. Hard coping.
Why is the background just like completely white?
It's not telling me. It's just giving me Hypno. It's just telling me Hypno.
Then put
No, that's not.
Oh my god, it's Jigglypuff.
It's not Jigglypuff. What? It told me Jigglypuff is the balloon Pokemon.
They can be changed, can't they? A lot of them change, don't they? A lot of the Pokemon classifications. Because that happened with... What Pokemon was it that it happened with before? I can't remember what it was. I'm lost. Where am I? What's a good design of the Pokemon classifications? Yeah, fair enough.
Because if you Google like lullaby Pokemon, it's just going to show you Hypno.
Yeah.
Because it sings lullabies. It's not going to show you Jigglypuff.
Wasn't there an episode called Hypno's Lullaby or something?
Yeah, exactly. That's why. And also because Hypno is a lullaby that like steals away children.
The amount of types of questions that we're like banning, we're only going to have like basic
what
questions
level does
left.
Blank evolve?
What does this evolve into? Wow.
Did you stay up late again without telling Paimon?
Pokemon quiz, except the questions aren't about Pokemon.
For real. It's just like a quality of life thing though. Because those questions make it really harder for us. And like, not harder in like a good way, harder in an annoying way.
Yeah. Like not hard, difficult.
Annoying. I like you're like not hard, difficult, even though those are synonyms.
But like I feel like
they
mean
like the same thing.
They give different impressions. Like hard makes it feel like it's a fun hard, but then difficult makes it feel like it's being difficult, it's being annoying. That's how it comes across with me. I don't know.
Still waiting on you, Pokemon.
It's trying to find a type of question that we haven't banned.
Okay, good thing we had different answers. Because otherwise I was going to say fuck. I haven't been to Area 0 though, so I don't know. Because I'm thinking...
I put true because
Dang it.
What are they called? The big guys with the Urban-Mysticas. There's a Paradox Donphan for one of them.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Titans, that's it. There's a Titan, either Iron Treads or whatever the
Iron Treads, yeah. I forgot about that, and I was like, unless he's counting the legendaries, which you find outside your house.
Yeah. Just a future Pokemon just like chilling outside your house.
Mm.
Okay, I am.
Wait, did you get Scarlet or Violet?
I got Violet
I got Violet.
because I thought Miraidon looked cooler, but then all the rest of the
Same.
paradoxes are better in Scarlet than Violet.
Hey, Iron Valiant is cool.
Iron Valiant is cool,
And
but
that's
so is
it.
Roaring Moon.
Yeah, but Roaring Moon's a Scarlet exclusive.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was
We're
saying.
talking about Violet
Yeah, fair
exclusives
enough.
here.
Iron Valiant is the only good one.
Yeah. And maybe
Miraidon.
Iron Leaf or whatever the
I feel like that's just
Virizion
like.
one is.
Oh my god. No! I thought Gibble. Why did I think Gibble? What is wrong with me? I read Gabite as Gibble.
Yeah, it's 48. I just googled it.
Brain no worky.
Cause I remember it was 7 levels lower than Tyrannosaurus.
Why do you notice that? I just thought 48. Why do you notice like the difference?
I like to make connections. Yes, Pokemon, but it's not over until
Oh my god, the digits
one
are
of us gets
swapped
100.
for our things.
He can be at 99 and I can get 100. Okay?
Our digits
Doesn't
are
matter.
swapped for our scores. I think that's quite cool.
Oh yeah, they are. Thank you for being proud of me, Pokemon.
Ready.
Ready, hungry, Paimon.
Ready.
I didn't even Google that. I just remembered.
I
just remembered from earlier. Because we're talking about Garchomp's evolution level because of the level cap.
Oh, I know this one. I was
just about to write Victini. Fuck.
I was expecting it to be like completely
like
different to how it's normally spelled because I was rushing it.
I was just about to write Victini, but I had like a freeze moment because you're like, ooh, I know this one. So like my fight or flight response kicked in, and instead my brain picked freeze.
I'm waiting for confirmation to say it's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna type Victini, but then you saying, ooh, I know this one made me freeze.
But yeah, so
like my fight
back to our little paradox conversation.
Freeze.
A lot of people are saying that Iron Leaves is just a 5G Virizion, which is basically what it is. Walking Wake is so cool. Walking Wake is the best paradox, honestly. I'm so glad I had Nintendo Online when it came out.
No, Roaring Moon is better.
Roaring Moon is... No. I think Walking Wake is better.
No, because Roaring Moon looks like...
We didn't say we're ready, Pokemon. Chill.
Yeah, I was just sitting there with Ready set in my hotbar because I've copied. Ready, Freddy. Just add an F at the beginning of that, and it's Freddy, as in the kid from down the street.
As in the kid from down the street.
Well, I mean, yeah, because Freddy Fazbear ends with a Y, not an I.
As if it's the same for me, just like the kid down the street.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be happy if they did the other Swords of Justice well.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with Iron Leaves looking the way it was.
It's 1 a.m., by the way.
If they did. What is it? What are the other two? Terrakion
I was just typing
and
into Google. I didn't know it.
If they do Terrakion and Cobalion well, I'll be happy with the way that Virizion looks. But I'm still going to be annoyed if they do Entei and Raikou well as well.
Yeah, it's the signature move of Rayquaza in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I was typing it into Google, and
I'm pretty sure you can get it
66.
in Sun and Moon, can't you?
We're not doing Pokemon. We're not doing one question worth 66 points. We're not doing that.
No, that's how many points I have.
No, he wrote 66 points for Jensen, as in give him 66 points.
No, I think he meant like I have 66 points. There you go.
Well, next time, write it better.
Word it better.
You know I am mentally disabled, dumbass. I have 12k points.
Okay.
Just a reminder, I can kill your Pokemon at any second.
Well, no.
Well, yes.
Hang on. Let me figure this out. I'm trying to think of a way to even more misspell ready.
Write ready, but use a B as one of the D's.
I wasn't
He's
typing.
just gradually writing it worse and worse. Rebdi.
Rebdi.
Yep, Rebdi. 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 It's like if you came with someone whose name was Reb and you're like, die. Rebdi.
I think I have it. No, I spelt it wrong and it gave me an Instagram account. Tell me. Tell me. I had 30 in my type thingy. I just wanted to make sure.
I wrote Curly into God of War, and then the first automatic response was how to evolve Curly into God of War, and then it said level, and the blue. Keep it down. Sorry. And then the blue highlight was around level up Curly to level 30.
Talk softer.
Sorry.
I am trying to sleep, and all I can hear is you.
Sorry. Forgot it was 1 a.m.
That's funny to me.
Fuck you.
No. Okay, carry on. I am. Hang on. Kind of looks like a D. That probably would have been better. No. Huh.
I was first.
I'm trying to just figure out whether I should allow big fish and bird.
It's up the Pokemon, I guess.
Or should I have at least like an attempt at the name?
Hey, you can tell what I mean. Therefore, I get the point, bitch.
But big fish, I could say that would be like Wailord. And bird could be literally any
Is
bird
Wailord even in
Pokemon.
Scarlet and Violet?
Brownie points is in. Brownie points. What do I put? 48 plus credit.
What if you put 48 and then you put a chocolate bar emoji next to it?
Okay.
48 plus chocolate bar.
I'm just trying to find this. Copy. Paste. Oh, it turned into a box.
Sad.
I'm just gonna put plus credit.
Very sad.
Okay.
And our hearts will know it's plus chocolate bar.
The chocolate bar wrapper is red. So I'll put ready. I'm slowly descending into madness, typing ready wrong every time.
I'm slowly descending into madness, copy-pasting it.
Add another rule if you're very creative, you get brownie points. Great.
Brownie points should be like a quarter point.
Instead of Rayquaza, big giant sky snake. Okay, yeah, quarter point. A brownie point is a quarter point. Just give me 2 seconds. 0.25.
Yep. I'm surprised you can math.
That's mean.
I know.
I've been like the best at maths in my entire class since like year 2.
You know the NAPLAN tests, right?
What?
You know NAPLAN, right?
I can't hear you.
NAPLAN. NAPLAN. It's a test. Super duper hard.
Oh.
Makes it harder every time you get an answer right. And I got one question wrong on numeracy NAPLAN.
Okay. England don't do that.
It's a New South Wales thing, I think.
Yeah. There was another one, the UKMT Maths Challenge, and I did best in my school.
I only got one question wrong out of 60 on numeracy NAPLAN. Tour.
Creativity.
Okay then. I didn't even look it up, I'm just guessing.
Oh, damn it. I thought it could, because big green head. Why did that make me think of Vivid?
Hold on. Really?
I find myself funny, at least.
I find it funny.
Okay. Why is there a capital Y?
I don't know. Because you're adding sass to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Meow. Ew.
Meow.
Why did I meow?
I don't know. Why did I meow back?
I started thinking about a Lola Meow for some reason. Like a Lola Meow specifically.
I heard you say meow, so I meowed back. I don't
know, man. I forgot to press the enter button.
Hold on.
I was just sat there
If I
just
can
like
get
losing.
another one, can I get it?
Yeah, sure, why not? If you can get a different one, you can also get a point. Go, Luke! Why are you shouting at me? Go, Luke, big guy. Great dude, both get points. Yeah! Chris, you've passed the 50 mark. You're only 16.
Fuck you.
You're only 16 and 3/4 away.
Fuck you.
Chris, you're closing the gap. You were like 20 points away at the start. I'm complimenting you on your improvement of 1.25 points. Yay. Um.
The red exclamation mark means that I'm on high alert. Because it's red, that translates to ready. So you're welcome.
Eddie. Who attacked my Monopoly Go village? This isn't okay. This isn't okay.
Goals are the big guy, creature, best boy.
Someone attacked my Monopoly Go village.
I should get another brownie point for having big guy, creature, best boy.
You should have added that in the first bit instead of just go look and then added a new one.
Shut up.
Wasn't
Are
me.
you good, man?
That wasn't
Are
me.
you good, man?
No. It's like 69 in it. It was me on the chat box, just saying. Chris got it? Oh, no.
As we said earlier, if we say it at the same time,
Okay.
it's on Pokemon's end, whoever's first. Because on my end, I'm first. On chat box, you're first.
What level
And on
does it
Pokemon's
evolve?
end, I'm first.
64.
Yeah. I knew it was like mid-60s.
I thought it was 69.
I thought it was 65.
No.
Are you okay, man?
No.
Fair enough. Just red. Just red.
Ruffy.
Reefy. Graffiti.
Graphite.
Reefy tree.
I don't know why.
Graffiti. Graphite. Why graphite?
I don't know.
Fair enough. We're both gradually becoming insane.
Ooh. Drapion's a dark ground type.
No, it's not. It's dark poison.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Cause Skorupi is poison bug, and then it evolves and loses bug and becomes dark, even though it's still a bug. Wait, hold on.
Nimbler. Numble. Nimbler. Okay. Is it? I thought Nimble was just pure. Nimble. Nimble is just a pure dark.
Google said it's bug dark. I hate you.
I'm sorry. Well, Google's telling me that it's a pure dark bug, not dark. No. Did you get? Did I can't speak. Did you get that? What I pinned? Did you get that?
I meant to be 51.5 because my goal or cancer was brownie points, bitch.
Pokemon didn't say so. Pokemon no say so. Pokemon no say so.
Pokemon was my goal or cancer brownie points because I said big guy, like, blah blah blah. Goal or big guy, great dude, best boy.
Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 side quarter fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I let it go again. Why did you let it go? Because it bit my finger so.
Why are you singing?
Oh,
Why are you singing?
I don't know. Ow. Oh my god, it worked.
What worked?
I said be back now and the Pokemon said back.
Oh, I see. That's funny. Ready, Fazbear. Ready, Fazbear.
Because if you can name another one, you get a point. Fluffy duster. Or. Who is Fluffy Duster from Gen 5?
Minchino.
Oh. Where did that go?
I wanted brownie points, so I wrote down Fluffy Duster.
Both get 1 point. I think. Happy with that, Chris? Bang, 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 bang. I gave you the 3 points that Pokemon didn't.
Sounds like you're saying the W word, so I think you should shut up because Twitch could TOS you.
Oh no. Twitch, don't you dare. Two oh yeah ands. Oh my god. Oh yeah and.
It was a copy paste mistake.
Why does my hair look like that?
Because you're ugly.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry, it's just the truth. Prints
Okay.
are ugly, sorry.
Okay. I think so. I don't know. It seems right. Huh? Also tur. Bore. I'm going to give you quarter of a point for funny. Because I wasn't expecting that. I'm hungry.
So am I.
Bork.
Are you barking like a dog?
Bork. I've finished my descent into madness. This account is a year old tomorrow.
What the fuck?
I'm readier than you.
I'm not the one fucking barking.
Oh no, I dropped it. I'm back. I dropped my headphones. Oh my god, that still picks up sound. I didn't know it did that.
Oh.
No, I don't want Mega Man. I think I've got them all. Give me them then. Oh my god. No, that didn't count. That don't count. Oh! Mega Rayquaza, Mega Latios, Mega Mewtwo Y, Mega Mewtwo X, Mega Diancie, Mega Primal Kyogre, Primal Groudon, I guess, if they count. Fly Lizard Fly, Twin Jets Blue, Lattice.
No, Lotties. They're the Lotties. The
Oh.
twin jets are the Lotties.
Old Fish and Old Lizard Rock.
That's the
What's the rock?
primals. Diancie.
Oh. Black Light Sucker.
The charisma, because according to Google, it mega evolves.
It told me that White and Black Kyurem are Mega Evolutions as well.
It told me that Volcarona is a legendary. I
Volcarona?
searched all Mega Legends Pokemon, and the last one is Volcarona.
Well then, obviously they're not right, are they? You didn't put Clone X and Clone Y. Just saying.
Because you didn't put Black Light Sucker, just saying. And also brownie points.
Because Necrozma doesn't Mega Evolve.
It becomes whitewashed Necrozma.
Exactly, not Mega.
Well, Primal Kyogre and Primal Groudon don't count as Megas then, do they?
Well,
I just realized it says Primal Kyogre, but then it just says Groudon. It doesn't say Primal Groudon.
You didn't put Mega Fly, Lizard Fly.
Because we didn't need to write Mega, we just need to write regular.
But Chris gets
Wait, we didn't need to write Mega.
Chris gets 7.
We didn't need to write Mega.
So does that mean that Chris is on 61.75? Yeah. Let's go with that. And I'm on 75.
What? No. 8 brownie points equals 2 regular points. Plus the 5. Plus the 75. Wait, sorry, 0.75. So 7 plus... What was my number before?
It was 54.75. 54.75. See, I'm right.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Pokemon just can't count 2 more than 5 as well. You put 5 plus 2 extra equals 8.
Chris is catching up. Yes, I am. It's because of them brownie points, man. It's because of my neurodivergent brain thinking smart.
I'm ready.
Hungry Paimon, motherfucker. Paimon is hungry, and you know what Paimon's gonna eat this time? You.
Oh. I'd rather it didn't.
It. Paimon is not an it. Paimon's a Paimon.
Everything is it to me.
Seriously, the Paimon doesn't even call, like, Paimon, like, I or, like, me. She doesn't use any pronouns for herself. She literally just says Paimon.
Speaks in third person.
Yeah.
Cool.
But she doesn't even use, like, she or her. She just says Paimon every single time.
Pronouns are Paimon, Paimon.
Yeah. So, like, if you said, like... It's like if a regular person was talking third person, they would say, like, she was beautiful, but Paimon would be like, Paimon's beautiful. They don't talk in third person as much as they just say their name instead of I or me.
Okay.
Or my. Or she or her. You see, I have an advantage because I play Genshin. All I'm getting is pictures of the unknown god next to Paimon. Genshin. The first website I have up here, Genshin Impact Paimon, emergency food or unknown god. And the first 3 images are all Paimon with the unknown god. Hold on. Hint needed? No.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Is it that one?
Pokemon just whispered,
Okay,
we wish
hold on.
upon a star.
Jensen.
Hello?
Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot of a couple things. Okay. You're just gonna have to bear with me here.
Okay. I'd probably say Shedinja. Oh my god, a cover fossil. Chris, are you dead? Chris? Hello? Are you alive? What happened? Hi, she didn't consider please bring this one. Hello? Hello? Oh, I'm gonna cry. Hello? Why is it not working? I can't hear Chris. Hello? Right, let's have a look then. Right, is that Hello? Oh my. Hello? Oh my god. Why is it not working now? Oh, why ain't it working? Why is it not working? Right, let's see if this works. Okay, now I've just completely broke it. Help. Hello? Chat. So, let me try something. You hear me? I can't hear you. Oh, my. Try leaving and redrawing now. Try deafen. No. Is it working? Oh, it's not working for me as well now. Can you still hear me? Yes, no? Over 3 hours of stream? Almost 4. Almost 4. Can you hear me? Oh my. Oh. No? Huh? The heck? Oh, why is this not working? Right. Now it's not working again. This is really weird. Like, the green... Oh, why is it not working now? This is really weird. Deafen? No. The heck? Why is it not working? What the... Well, I don't know. I haven't seen Discord. Chris can hear me, but I can't hear Chris. Chris, can you still hear? Can you still hear me? Oh, you can still still hear me? So it's not mine. Let's try this. I can't hear you, no. It's really weird. Oh, that's... Yeah, your green, it is showing up. Have you somehow turned down your input? Maybe? This is weird. I think we're going to end here anyway. I don't think we're going to get another question in on time. Why is the thing above me like there? It's not usually there, is it? Oh well, it's nice there. I think we're going to keep it there. Tries to get another question. Okay. Do you want to just do it now? Just one more question. I know the issues. It's really weird. Yeah. Right. Let's wait for Chris. Oh my god, I spelled it right. I shouted at you. I ain't got a clue. Walking wake. Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. $63? $63. Okay. Right, so, who we rating? 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 Illucent? Levi money 656. Let's have a look. Ah, Streamer Showdown. Streamer Showdown. Shut up, me. Huh? Huh? Help. What? What? The heck? What is shield mode and why does it say it's on? How do I turn it off? What have I done? Oh well. Slash raid Levi money. I ain't got a clue what shield mode is. But you know, not much you can do about it. So, last week's VOD will be up tomorrow. The week before will be up. No, last week's will be up on Monday. The week before, which was meant to be up last Sunday, will be up tomorrow. So yeah, I'll see you all next stream.